It's too early, but that's okay. My gym workout was phenomenal. Before I went home, I decided to stop over at my mother's house. I haven't seen my mother in 2 months. I know she's going to be very surprised to see me. I can't wait. What the? I couldn't believe what I was seeing. The first thing I noticed was this person's skin. What is going on? Uncomplicated, untreated skin? Who is this guy? I had to take a step back, but then I realized it was my brother. But look at his skin. Have you guys ever seen anything like that? I had to take a closer look and figure out what was going on. Best believe I crept up on him. Peep this. I'm still looking at his skin, trying to figure out how did we get here. I could do nothing but shake my head. He could definitely use my help. I had to get to the bottom of this. He definitely needed some game about his skin. I'm just staring at it, like looking at it. Come on, bro. I knew what to do. I had to reach in my bag and get that Tej Hanley. Uncomplicated skincare for men. Bro, this is why I'm excited to have Tej Hanley as a sponsor of today's video. They have helped me start and maintain my skincare routine by making the entire process uncomplicated. Honestly, it's the best skincare system for guys like you and me. I recommend you start with their level 1 system, which comes with all the basics. A daily face wash to get rid of the dirt and the grime on your skin, a 2 times per week exfoliating scrub to get rid of the dead skin cells, an AM moisturizer with SPF 20 because you should always be protecting your skin from the sun, and a PM moisturizer to help your skin stay hydrated and healthy throughout the night. My brother was so excited. My favorite part about Tej Hanley is that every box comes with an instruction card that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in what order. They really make the process of achieving and maintaining amazing skin easy. Shout out to Tej Hanley. And because Tej Hanley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers a great deal. Just click the first link in the description, and not only will you get Tej Hanley for the best possible price, but they'll also give you a free gift with your first box. Click that link and get started today for just $30. Feel the Tej. Let the Tej force be with you. Let's just have a conversation. How y'all doing, family?
What's going on? Good evening, everybody. All right, so let's get started. You know, I know it's something a little bit different tonight. JR is getting some much deserved rest and relaxation, you know. So let me introduce the panel tonight. We got the real Precious.
Hold on. I gotta be at the top, bro. You gotta switch me to the top, bro. Like, what's
No.
going on?
Let him work his way up.
No. He just did that. My man Bruiser.
You gotta put me at the top, bro.
Lady Died, DTM. Dating to Marriage. My man SMS Sweeney. Queen Sheba. The guy, the interrupter, Mr. Let Go. And Lucky, how y'all doing this evening? All right, welcome to Lapeef Let's Talk. Y'all know how we do it. Here on the Lapeef Network, I am Trigger Mike of the Trigger Mike Show of the Lapeef Network. We're here with another banger for you on this good Thursday. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank you to the sponsor, Tej Hanley. Everybody watching international. We got international viewers now, y'all. We appreciate your support. As always, we always appreciate any kind of support that we get in the form of super chat. But what you can do right now for the YouTube algorithm is hit a like. Get a like. Get those likes up right now. All right, all the way up. Show support for your people. It's the best thing you can do. You can also share this out to let people know this is what you're watching on this good Thursday night. All right. We got a banger for y'all tonight. We're going to get into these topics. But first off, how y'all doing this evening? What y'all got for me? Traffic coming home? It's spring break. Talk to me.
I'm good. Right.
No, not you, interrupter. You said enough. How everybody else doing?
Doing good on this Friday Eve.
I
Good.
bet.
Can't complain, Bruce. Why in the dark over there, man? I'm used to your room being dark.
I had to let you have it this time, sweetie.
That's what's up. That's what's up. All right. Well, shoot. Welcome, everybody. Let's see what we got in this chat. I'm not even pulled up right now, but yeah, we got a good topic for y'all tonight. We're going to go in just like that. All right. So, the first topic of the night: young females think us older women are lonely women. Let me share that, present that, cue that up for you. All right. We're going to get a video. Bear with me as I share this out to everybody for us to watch. All right, let's get it.
This video circulating of this young lady talking about.
Oh no. Can y'all hear it?
No, it's stopped.
All right, let me
It's
see if I
like
get
buffering or something.
Got you. Let me try that again. All right, let me see if I can get it on the download.
What's everybody drinking on?
Circulating of this young lady
There you go.
talking about middle-aged women and we mad, mean, miserable, and lonely, right? And that we missed our opportunity to have a good man, and that's why we out here, we just lonely. First of all, let me just clear something up, right? Majority of us middle-aged women, because I consider myself a middle-aged woman. I'm 46 years old. A lot of us are single by choice. Not because we missed our opportunity, but just for the simple fact that the caliber of men that's out here now, to me, in my opinion, are not even worth dating or having a relationship with. And the fact that a lot of you young girls, because a lot of y'all are 20 years younger than me, but you look like you're my age. And that's because you living hard. You know, you doing the age that you are now versus the age we were back then. You all are doing way more for way less with these men. Extremely big difference in the mentality of the men when I was your age versus the mentality of the men now that you all are with. We're not missing out on nothing. You know what I mean? You all are the ones that's out here feeling, you know, the pressures of social media. So you out here, posting flowers that you bought for yourself. You done took a trip that you paid for on your credit card. You still waiting on him to pay your credit card off. We didn't have to do all of that. See, the men back in my day, you know, when I was your age, they put us in cars, paid cash for cars, put us in cars, put us in cribs. If we already had our own apartment, they paid the rent up for 6 months. You all not getting that. But you claim that we mad and miserable and lonely. We deal with men when we feel like it. You all feel this social pressure from social media to post all of this fake narrative like you in this happy relationship. Us us middle-aged women, we know how to get, you know, what we need and push them on to the side, tell them to get gone. Y'all want to move them in, you know, let them sleep, in a house that you got on your own. He not even contributing. He not paying no bills, really. You footing the whole relationship. But the fact that you can be on pictures with this man, and I'm going to tell you something else. All the stuff that you post and everything that you got, that you claiming that he bought, but you really bought yourself, you ain't doing shit but giving him the attention of about 10, 20 other women because they feeling like he didn't bought this for you. He could do it for them. You giving these men way more action and attention than if you were just to fuck with them on your.
That was a long video.
Golly.
But y'all got the gist of what she's talking about. We're going to start with Precious. What's your take on it?
It seemed like when she was younger, she just used men. I mean, that's what it sounds like she is saying. And now she wants to deal with them as though they're disposable. So honestly, I mean, I don't think she's any different than the girls today. She just seems like she got more back in the day. But I don't think an older woman is going to tell you that she's lonely. She's not going to admit that. She's just going to act like she isn't. She's going to act like, you know, she was the creme de la creme in her day. She's not going to tell you that she's lonely. She's not going to tell you that she's tired of being single. So I don't even buy anything that she's saying.
All right, Mr. Let Go, what you got on it?
looking at her setup and her little cute little fur coat and her little glasses, it's a very good chance that she won all that in a divorce. So possibly the reason why she's single now is because she was married at some point, broke a man's heart, divorced the shit out of him, and next thing you know, now she's all sitting in her car telling other women what to do with their lives after she just ruined a man's life. Now, I may be wrong, but I don't think I'm wrong. And the reason why is she's cute, she's pretty. And that's a good thing, not a bad thing. You know, it's good to see women that are, in her words, middle-aged and that cute. And you could tell by how a woman's body looks, by how her face looks. She ain't got no fat face, so most likely she fine. You know what I'm saying? Got a little meat coat on. She cute, you know? But with all that being said, she's a liar when she turns around and says that I'm single by choice. Any woman on this planet that says she's single by choice is lying. Because the bottom line is, we men aren't even single by choice. Like, you know, some dudes just want to run through chicks or whatever and still stay single or whatever. But a lot of men want a woman to settle down with and, you know, be happy with or whatever. And you damn sure know that most women want a man, you know, heterosexual women. So none of y'all or none of us, to a certain degree, are single by choice. It's a lie. So yeah, women love sitting around lying to everybody. And this is the reason why I say most of these women just they sit in the mirror lying. They lie to their dog. They lie to their homegirls. They lie to everybody they see. Ain't none of these women single by choice. They want a man just like we want a woman. And it's stupid.
All right. Lady Di, you look like it's about to burst out of you. Go ahead. What you got?
Why everybody keeps saying?
Yeah,
yeah. So I mean, honestly, it looked like she's used to dealing with dope guys that sell. You know, like she's used to that lifestyle. She seems like a side chick style because of how she's speaking about. Well, you can't use them for this. You got to use them this way. How do you know how to use anybody? You're so used to doing that. So she seems like she never was a wife, in my opinion, because even if she was a wife, why would she be promoting it in the way that she's promoting it? Saying you need to do it in a way where the guy is not going to use you. Don't move them in, which I understand not moving them in. Cool. But why is she not promoting, hey, you know, where's my engagement ring? Why is she not promoting it that way? So if she's trying to save women from dealing with guys that are quote unquote no good, then save them and say, hey, you should be getting married. Let them look at you as valuable. How do you look valuable? Do these things. She's not even promoting that. She's promoting side chick behavior. So that's how I feel about it.
all right. Good take. My man Sweeney. Welcome to Lapeef Let's Talk. What you got on it, bro?
Congratulations. You're single by choice. Congratulations. I'm like, she's like this old lady out there yelling at the clouds. I don't normally see too many young women going at older women talking about y'all single and y'all lonely. Like, that's not a thing. As a matter of fact, for the most part, all I see is them defending them. Every old woman that comes out talking about how lonely she is, you see a boatload of women coming right behind her saying, no, it's all good, sis. You okay? Sisterhood this, sisterhood that. So I don't even know who she arguing with. So congratulations, you're single and you happy and you riding around in whatever car that in with the fur coat on and you look good for your age and everything else. Congratulations. Go be by yourself by choice and leave everybody else the fuck alone.
Damn.
Right.
Welcome to you. Welcome indeed. All right, Queen Sheba, how you doing? What you got?
Damn, good golly, Miss Molly. Shit.
You know what I'm saying? How you go after
I'm
that?
like, but then I had to remind myself where I'm at. I'm like, you're in a space where it's anti-women. And no matter what she says, she is wrong. But I'm gonna hold my own tonight. And Bruiser, I'm expecting you to bring up the tail end. And if not, I got it. By way of a fair argument. And when I say fair argument, it's very ironic to me that everybody attacked a woman without listening to what she said. Each and every one of you that have spoken went after her instead of the guidance that she provided, even if you disagree, right? even if you disagree. What she was saying is women nowadays are a bit different than what she's been accustomed to. And as a result, women issue insult to other women that have aged out the game, single. We don't know why she's single. She can be single because she's a widow. So let's establish the foundation of what single means. Single means not married. And we took that and we ran with that, and she became the bad guy just because she's a woman with a vagina. So let's just start there and pause on that.
Not
just
true.
because just because she's a woman and she's talking, she's old, she's she's wrong. Go be single. Did you hear the message of what she was saying and what she was trying to invoke into the younger women? Here's the thing. Here's the difference, because as generations, we change, men change. And here's some things you would probably want to consider, right? As younger women. But instead of receiving that wisdom, and it's okay, wisdom and or guidance, you attack a woman because of her status. But if I can do a head count, there's maybe 3 or 4 married people on this panel, not women, I'm sorry. So does that mean you're single and lonely and you missed the mark? If we issue the judgment that you just issued against her, then you have to serve under those same bylaws that you just said. Now, Mr. Sweeney, I don't know you, so I'm not talking to you because I don't know your status. I know Mr. Let Go is single. Precious, I'm not sure, but I think you're single. And when I say single, I mean not married. So let's just pause there. That's all I got for now.
I mean, we know why she's single. She said it. She said she's single by choice.
By choice. Hold on. What's wrong with choosing to be single? Hold on. No, wait a minute, Mr. Lego. Hold on.
Why?
Choosing. Can a woman not choose to eat a salad, can a woman not choose to have an apartment? Can a woman not choose to be single? So she can't choose?
Oh no, I didn't say anything was wrong with that. I just said
by choice.
That's what she said.
So what?
That's what I said.
What do you mean? So what?
Hold on, Mr. Lego, because I know you like the double team, but I got you one-on-one if you just pause for a second.
All right, I'll wait.
All right.
I'll wait for the smoke.
But Mr. Sweeney, I don't think that's an issue. A lot of men choose to be single.
I didn't say it was. I just said congratulations. You're single by choice.
But what do you have to offer outside of congratulations? Do you have anything to offer to the audience that are tuned in other than congratulations?
Well, to the audience, I mean, I think she said what she had to say. She said that she's single by choice and our young ladies need to step their game up to her level, whatever that may be. I don't see a difference. I think the same shit that was going on back in her day, whatever time that was, is the same shit that's going on today. It's a different time, different. I always say same shit, different toilet.
There you go. Thank you. I appreciate that.
So,
go ahead.
So she didn't say anything profound to them young ladies. All she did was go out there and hate on them for whatever reason, even though I don't see too many young ladies going at older women like that. So she just the old person yelling at the cloud for no reason.
Mr. Lego, what you looking for?
All right. So the first thing is the woman sat in her car and did a whole damn video, a 20-minute video about some shit. Okay. So she had a whole lot to say. So for you, Sheba, to sit here and start telling us we're attacking a woman that made a damn video and put it on social media is one, disingenuous, and two, you expect one of us in one of these little bitty boxes to sit here and go over all 8 minutes of what she just said?
I expect you to do exactly what you do, which is talk. Hold on, because you make videos all day in your little box on your little social media channel as a single man, and you are no different. But I'm going to pass the mic. Go ahead, Bruiser.
I'm not done.
Go ahead, let go. Then we're going to get the Bruiser. Go ahead, let go.
So what I'm saying is, just say what you gotta say and move on instead of sitting there trying to make up some shit talking about we attacking a woman. Anybody, whether it's me, what you just said, I make a video, I do a show. I am not going to be attacked because I put something out there for people to pull apart. You feel me? So anybody, whether it's Precious, whether it's you, whether it's me, Lady Di, who makes some content and posts it on social media, none of us are going to get attacked. They're just responding to something we say, and we have the right, or people have the right to say that, because if that wasn't the case, why the hell did you put it out there? So the only person getting attacked is a person walking down the street, minding their own business, not posting shit on social media.
I get you, but I'm looking at it from a different angle. Outside of her, what do you have to offer?
We're going to get back to it. Let's get our man Bruiser in there. Before I get you in there, Bruiser, all right, we got a disrespectful like count going on right now. I need y'all to get those likes up. For those of you just tuning in, welcome to the Lapeef Let's Talk show. Get those likes up right now. I need 300. We had 800 people watching. We got 232. I need those likes up right now. Get those likes up. My man Bruiser, take it away. What you got on it?
So when women say they're single by choice, majority of the time is because they don't qualify for the man they want. So they refuse to settle for the one that they do qualify for. She said she was single by choice, but she also stated there ain't no man worth her time. So that she's making it clear that she's not willing to settle, or she's not willing to date the guys that she actually qualified for. She's 46. She's dressed like Lulu off of Nunu off of ATL. I know y'all saying ATL. And she said they paid for all these things. They paid for her cars. They paid for the apartments, houses. Yet, ain't no man between 18 to 46 was worth her time over a course of 28 years. That's puzzling to me. But she got hooked on the material things. She was able to leverage her vagina to look like for these material things. She dressed like she dressed like she still got some miles on her, because I'm looking at it as she's still out here trying to get it in. I mean, look what she was wearing. So I think she just need to be honest. And a lot of women need to be honest. All this I'm single by choice thing, I can see right through it. It's a choice, but just be honest that you actually, you don't want to settle for the guys that you actually qualify for. But these women, a lot of times these women wait, and they wait out their value. So I'm gonna go ahead and let Lucky go in. I don't want to hold it up.
All right, we got Lucky coming through. Last but not least, this name she got right now is completely disrespectful. So I don't know what type of time you on tonight, but we're gonna see. All right, go ahead, take it away.
Well, I didn't see the video. Hey, everybody. But why do y'all just assume that if she's single, that means she couldn't find a mate? Sometimes people have to do internal work on themselves, and I believe people can be single by choice. So why are we making it seem like all women who are single, or most women who are single who say that, have a hard time finding a man? I just want to ask that first.
Well, my answer is, well, go ahead, y'all. Go ahead.
I think it's what Bruiser said. You don't want to settle for who you actually qualify for at that age. When whoever she wanted maybe moved on, got married, like Mr. Let Go says, she could be a widow. Who knows what the real situation is? But at 46, she's 46, right?
Yeah, and you single by choice at 46.
At this point, you don't necessarily want to settle. I
get that part. So does the single by choice, that way of thinking, only apply to women or men who are also 40s who are single by choice?
Men have control of the relationship.
Where do you hear men saying they're single by choice?
Men definitely do that. They say, I have not found a certain type of woman. I'm waiting to meet this certain type of woman.
Ain't no man said they single by choice, Lucky. Stop it.
If you're just trying to go with the words verbatim, okay, I'll give you that. But to be single by choice could easily translate into, I have not found said partner that I want to settle down with.
Or I'm not at the level to qualify for the woman I want to be with.
And let me add this, Lucky.
Before you add, I'm trying to answer correctly. Okay, because are we just answering from that perspective? Because there are women who are single by choice. It could be their career at this time. It could be they don't really have a schedule to date. They don't really. There's a lot of things that factor in. Not necessarily that they can't. Go ahead.
The wording, I'm single by choice, is a woman's way of justifying why she ain't got no man.
Yeah.
So the reason why men don't say I'm single by choice is because we don't have the need to justify why we ain't got no woman.
Also,
but no, Mr. Lego, that's not true. Y'all justify all the time.
Why they ain't got no man.
But what I'm saying is, whether or not you agree with her justification, men have justifications. Why we can say, why aren't you married right now? Why did you get a divorce? Certain things happen in
Bruiser, stop interrupting.
All right, one
I
mic.
actually said that. Look, Lucky, I actually said men are single the same way, but I said that. I said men are also not single by choice. Not single by choice. None of us are single by choice. Some people are, but
That's not
most
what you
of us
said.
are not single by choice.
You said men don't use the same words and terminology. So are you wanting?
Earlier,
Hold on,
she
let me
was-
finish. Are you
Go ahead.
you wanting a woman to act like a man by way of how what you've become accustomed to? You said men do not use that terminology. We don't say we're single by choice when we're single. So let me clarify. Are you looking at a woman and expecting her to think and behave and speak like you as a man? Do you not make room for a woman to be a woman by way of her communication style?
You said it.
The answer to that is, I'll go back to what I said. One, I said men are not single by choice either. Most men. Some men just want to just run around, run through women. I did say that earlier. And two, men don't say they're single by choice because the wording itself is stupid to be able to use as a declaration of why they're single. Men overall do not have to justify why they're single because the majority of us enjoy being single.
So why are you comparing women to men?
I'm almost done. Don't interrupt me. Men don't use the word single by choice, one, because it's meant to justify why they ain't got no woman. And we men don't have to justify why we ain't got no woman. Women have a need, especially 40-some-year-old women, the woman, not you, you married. Women feel the need to justify why they ain't got no man. And for this woman to be 40 whatever years old, you can't find no man in at least 20-some years of your damn life. She needs to say I'm single by choice because I'm old as hell. That's what she needs to say.
Because that's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to I'm just trying to get an understanding of how we're thinking. Are we thinking that because she's 46, that means the last 20 years she ain't had no man because she could have left a marriage? That was her choice. She could have left a long-term relationship. That was her choice.
I got to chime in. Okay. I got to chime in. Listen, a woman saying she's single by choice is like saying she had a baby by accident.
Thank you.
But y'all cut off the ladies just to talk, man. I just want to bring it to your attention, Trigger Mike, as the host. You just cut this lady off in the middle of her sentence. I'm just bringing it to your attention.
Let the man finish.
You're a teacher today, Queen Sheba?
No, but they cut her off. It was her turn.
Hold on, Queen Sheba. Lucky. You need to finish?
Now you can go ahead. I kind of hear what y'all saying, but I haven't really answered because I'm trying to figure out what's the difference if we see 46-year-old men who are not with anybody and women, and they both have choices as to why they're not with anybody.
It's a big difference, though.
Well, but what we do is we elaborate on it and we tell you the reason why we single is because we want to play the field.
Yeah, a lot of us don't care about
women not open enough to be honest to say, I want to be whole.
I would much rather her say that.
That's single by choice. That's what I'm saying, Bruiser.
Hold
on, one mic. Lucky, go ahead.
That's what I'm saying, Bruiser. There are men, and I don't understand, even in these conversations where y'all say y'all single because these women aren't this. It's hard to find these type of women. That's why you have a group of men who feel like I can get a better options or least road to resistance, whatever it is that they call it, when they go overseas. So you have men saying they're single because they cannot find certain women. I just use that as an example.
But they're still not single by choice, though. They're not saying that they're single by choice. They're still actively looking. They're still trying to find.
That's a reason, though. So if that's a reason why he's single, then she has a reason why she's single.
But that's not by choice, then, because if you had that, you wouldn't be single.
And it goes back to what I said, Lucky. None of us or most of us are not single by choice, and the statement is a lie. And the person that made the statement was a woman.
But Mr. Lego, I'm not even. I'm a little slow, but I ain't that slow, because when you said it initially, you made it seem like it was a difference. Now you're saying it's the same. So I agree with
my
that.
initial statement. I said men and women are not single by choice. You may not have been on there or didn't see what I said the first time. I said that.
Possibly.
All right.
I said it.
Let me give my answer to this. So I just feel like these statements are severely antithetical. All right. And a woman saying she's single by choice is like saying she got no edges on purpose. It's like saying her vagina's thinking she likes it that way. All right. Women lie. And how we often predict this lie is that they make statements that are contrary to a woman's nature. All right. So women want to be desired. So if you're undesirable, then you're more likely to say something like, I'm single by choice. If you get dumped a lot, you're going to more likely to say, I'm single by choice. We don't believe that at all. Women want to be desired by men, especially if you look good. So no woman is going to make a contrary antithetical statement saying I'm single by choice unless she's using it as a defense mechanism. It's psychologically not what women do. Come on, you know that. That's like calling herself ugly.
Come on with the bars.
That's crazy. As a facilitator and as a host, your job is to remain neutral, to juggle the argument. Hold on, stop.
I think
no. Let me talk. Let me talk. This is y'all's panel. Let me talk. You invited me here. Let me talk.
Oh my
God. Hold on. I know you're not saying that a host don't have an opinion.
That's what y'all do every Thursday. It's like bam, bam, bam.
Wait, hold on, Sheba. Hold on, Sheba. You're saying a host don't have an opinion?
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you've taken a position. Hold on, let me finish. You asked me a question. I'm just saying, I'm listening.
Mama trying to tell somebody what to do. Go ahead, Mama.
Shut up, Miss Lego, because you jump in everybody fight and get your ass whooped every week. So stop. So what I'm trying to say, Mr. Trigger Mike, is you've taken a position. You've shifted. In my opinion, let me just say, in my opinion, I feel like you've taken a position now, right? And I'm not saying you can't have an opinion, but as a facilitator, now I feel like, okay, this is how he feel about the statement. This is where he's going with it. So are you a part of the panel or are you hosting the panel? Just so I can be clear.
Let me just tell you something about the men of Alpha Phi Alpha, okay? We transcend all. So you may have never seen a host like me before, but you will see one tonight. Let's continue. Who's willing to read these super chats for me before we get to the
and by the way,
we got to read super chats.
Mr. Mike, are you hosting or are you a part of the panel? Just so I can know.
Don't worry about it. Don't answer it, bro. Don't answer it.
I feel like in this great country we live in,
don't answer it.
It is a free country, so I'll let you know when I figure it out. Okay, I'm gonna decide tonight if I'm a host or I'm on the panel, and we're also going to see if I could do both.
Don't let Mama come in here talking shit.
We got Charles Martin, the negotiator. First of all,
let me balls, Mr. Lego.
We also got over 1,000 people watching and 300 something likes. Get these likes all the way up to 500 right now. We spitting fire. Queen Sheba got the Glock loaded. Mr. Let Go in the red shirt. You already know how he act in the red shirt. Stop playing. It is going to be one hell of an episode. Get those likes up right now. My man Charles Martin, the negotiator, $2 says the men back in the day did. I don't know what that word is. Contradiction. Dark Knight 89, $2. This is for the fun to bring Anton back. All right. Bashua, what's going on? Good evening to all. Appreciate that. Kelly Connection, $5. Ladies back in the day knew how to finesse. Boy, oh boy, she turned the fake alphas of today into simps. Kelly Connection, $2. Queen Sheba Smirk says it all. Popcorn. That name, $2. If she's fine and she's single, she's the problem.
All facts.
Dig Bick NRG, $5. It's giving 2 baby daddy 3 times divorce, PPP loan scammer. How did I know Queen Sheba would defend her vibes? You got fans and haters, Queen Sheba.
Sheba, you a scammer, right?
Don't start, not yet. Let me get through these super chats. My man JB, $5 says, I can't get the man I want, so I'll cope by claiming I'm single by choice. Modern Woman Babble 101. Think Bruiser, he just echoed your words out. Kelly Connection, $2. Queen Sheba, fire. To go, $5 for Sheba. If you're If you are a Christian, older women should give wisdom like Titus 2:3. Read it for the
I
audience.
agree.
Kelly Connection, $5.
But I don't know
No
if that lady's
woman
a Christian.
except female Manosphere panelist wants an overweight, middle-aged man making minimum wage just to say, I'm married by choice. Pass. Charles Martin, the negotiator, $10. She said us middle-aged women are single by choice because of how men are now, then contradicted herself by praising the men back in the day. She missed out on those men. She's 46, not 26. Beautiful observation. Kelly Connection, $2. Men say self-proclaimed bachelor. Okay. Okay.
I ain't never heard no dude say
I
that
was
in my
gonna
life.
say, I was like, we will dissect that. JB, $5. 99.99% of women are going if they can get the man they want. The single by choice narrative is just pure copium. You just don't qualify for him. Charles Martin, negotiator, $5. A 46-year-old man has a higher possibility of marrying who they want than a 46-year-old woman. Why are you shaking your head, Sheba? That is a fact. That is
According to who? Black man or white man?
All men. Oh, Bathshua, $5. When I was single, I hated it. Being married is so much better. I agree. Sheba does too. She knows she does. The Real Pookie, $2. That was a fly woman. Y'all capping. JB, $5. Single by choice means I can get the man I want, but I choose not to. The problem is the females claiming this nonsense just can't get him. Dr. Nakumbe, $20. Appreciate that. Historically, it was a bad thing if a woman was single. She was not protected, had a voice, speak for her, etc. Over time, women said, no, I am single and it's by choice. I don't need a voice or a man to represent me. And the Real Pookie says, I guess this is Bruiser, most 45-year-old men are wash. Example, Sweeney.
Damn, what I do?
Yo, they coming at your
Damn.
How you gonna act?
I think you're collateral damage, Sweeney.
Golly, shit. Every time I leave the short, and I got to get this? Shit.
All right, we appreciate that. Look, we need to get these likes up all the way up to 500. We got an all-star panel tonight. Get those likes up. We got people coming in. If you're just tuning in, welcome to the Lapeef Network. You're watching Lapeef Let's Talk with your host, Trigger Mike, of the Trigger Mike Show on the Lapeef Network. Oh, we got an all-star panel, so let's get into the next topic of the night. It's gonna be
hold on, Trigger Mike. I just want to say, don't let Sheba silence you.
Oh, I mean, she's coming from.
Don't let her be. Don't be silent.
Trigger Mike and I are good. We've met in person. We've had brunch together. Mr. Let Go, let go.
You got to give more context before they start going crazy in the chat about how we had brunch together, okay? But yeah. She's like, we've had brunch together.
I got you.
I'm not going to clip that.
Absolutely. Let me get this next topic queued up for you. All right. So our next topic is it your responsibility to study your partner or theirs to tell you they're changing? Very good one. Let's tune in.
Me is that we don't study, like we don't be that invested into one another to really study that person, to know the person that you're in a relationship with. She ain't really watching that no more. I notice her friends have changed. If you start to see these things in your partner and you do nothing to explore that with them, then yes, those are creating tunnels. If her love language is quality time and she comes home from work and you come home from work and you sitting on the couch and I got to catch up on my football game, but you know your girl's love language is quality time, or it has developed into quality time because maybe it was gifts when you met her, but now it's developed into quality time. And here go a gift, but you're not spending time with her.
It's not incumbent upon me to have to study my woman when my woman lives in my house, showers, and sleeps in the same domicile that I do. So how is it incumbent on me to have to study my woman that has a mouth?
It's not even about studying.
For sure,
it's about being
because
aware.
you put the accountability on the man to have to study my woman to see that her teeth.
There's plenty of times where I've seen my man not acting the way that he usually does, not speaking the way he does, or doing the things that I know that he likes to do.
Well, and it's an awareness. It's an awareness.
If you're saying you're in the same,
I think that's a part of the choice. That's a part of the choice. The choice to stay curious,
constantly exploring.
All right, so we're going to go a little bit out of orders. So, Lucky, we're going to let you go first. What do you think? What you got on it?
I think they're both important. Personally, I think that you have to look and pay attention to the details and the things that your partner may not say. as they're learning, I think you should always communicate your wants and dislikes. So I think that they're both accurate. There might be times where you have to read body language. You have to understand they're tired. You have to understand a lot of things that come into play. Maybe they're sad. Sometimes I have heard relationships where women have cried next to their husbands and their husbands didn't even know when they were asleep. So I think it's important to pay attention to the patterns, pay attention to the things that they don't say, the little behavior difference, because when we start dating, like, that's how you catch somebody cheating in the first place. They have a pattern until it changes. And if you're not paying attention to those little details, you might be out here looking stupid. So I think they both are important. I think you should communicate, but I also think it's important to constantly pay attention to your partner.
Nice. Bruiser.
Yeah, you should study your partner. But you should also establish a two-way communication. Just because you're changing doesn't mean you're exempt from communication. It's because you having a hard time. And it doesn't mean that you get a pass on talking to your partner. But it should be a two-way communication regardless of what's going on.
Okay. Queen Sheba, what you got?
I think all of them gave some really good nuggets of wisdom. All of them made a lot of sense. I wish they could have paused and just processed what each and every one of them was saying. Women were speaking from the methods that women communicate, and he was speaking from the way that men adopt communication. Most men tend to be nonverbal or lean towards being nonverbal. Men have a very good way of observing, which is why they're great athletes, right? And they can run plays and watch tapes, observing the field, observing his weaknesses, flaws, gaps, and areas that I can exploit and take advantage of. Whereas women tend to be more verbal and calling things out. So women are asking the men to communicate the way that they would primarily communicate. And he's saying, why do I have to do that when she should just tell me what she needs and wants, right? More direct, more in line, which is kind of more of a masculine approach. So I think if everybody could just pause, because here's the thing. I think Lucky said it. We all change. We all change. Not everybody prefers a verbal style of communication. Hence is the reason why some people opt out of therapy, because it requires you to talk. And now when you think about market changes and different therapy methods, they're offering texting, virtual, where you don't have to talk to anybody. You can just text and hide behind a screen. So I think they all had important things to say, but we all evolve, we all change. So there's a little bit of this and there's a little bit of that when it comes to your mate. And observation is important. So is verbal communication. So that's what I have for that.
Gotcha. Sweeney.
I would say I kind of agree with what everybody else pretty much said in regards to, I think both of them are as important. I think you should observe your partner, see what things they dislike, what changes they have. And then also I do believe you do have to open up your damn mouth. Like, you know what I mean? Closed mouths don't get fed. So if you want to do something or you want something to be done, open up your mouth. Like and on top of that, we're not always going to have the same interests. Me and my wife don't have all the same interests. She got her thing that she does. I got my thing that I do. And when we come together, we do us for the most part. But I don't know. And I personally don't believe in love languages. That shit is all weird to me. But yeah, I don't know. I think they were both right. But I don't understand why they were arguing so much on it. I get it.
All right.
It's an environment. The environment just has us arguing on that damn show all the time.
Oh, okay.
Nah, it's those ladies. Those ladies to me are insufferable. And I watch them. I'm not judging, but there's some hot ones. There's some firecrackers. Lady Di.
I was gonna say, finally, Sweeney said it, that I don't agree with the love language either. Finally, somebody else that agrees, at least that for me. I never heard anybody say that. I don't believe in that. Why? Because we changed too much. So your love language is this last year. 2 years later, you're going to have something different. How are we going to catch up? It's already hard for us to catch up our change and observe it.
But it's still there. It still exists.
I didn't say it didn't exist. I said I don't like it. I don't live my marriage to that. Yeah, I don't, because it changes too much. It's too much to pay attention to. And then you know, 1 year I might think, okay, well, my husband likes it this way. And then 5 years later, it's going to be very different. So I don't want to hold that on somebody. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to keep the title, oh, his love language is affection, when it could be different. So my thing with the video is, I see that us women and men have to learn each other, and the dynamic is very different. Us ladies are very different. We're on the emotional side. So we love to speak, to say, hey, this is what we like, you know, or sometimes you just might not want to speak and be like, well, you should be looking, you know, you see me do this. Why aren't you paying attention? Because we want to be noticed. So we have both. Men, from what I understand, they like to show their things through actions. So if you're not paying attention through his actions, how are you going to know that he changed as well? So what I believe is that two people should come together, learn each other by gender first, because it is a very big dynamic difference. Learn each other by gender, you know, match it that way in a sense of, okay, I understand that my man wants me to verbally tell him because he is very direct. So I'm not saying every single time, you're not going to be like, well, I'm emotional right now, so I don't feel like telling him, because you want to, you know, get it out. But you should eventually be able to be direct. And then guys as well. If your lady likes for you to do a certain way, and that's to be verbal or pay attention, then you need to start paying attention. Because if not, as you guys get older, right? So you're in your marriage, you're going to get older and you're going to be like, well, damn, he's not paying attention to me. And he's going to be like, damn, well, you ain't never told me. I can't read your mind. Then you guys are going to be having a whole bunch of conflict for no reason. So eventually you're going to have to come to a common ground, and that's per household. Every household is different. So I do believe that, yes, both of them would work, but it's not going to be that all the time. You should be able to be direct because your man is direct, and men, you should be able to be a little bit more sensitive because your lady is sensitive. It needs to be equal, so it won't be any, you know, issues, you know, going on when life is happening, because your life is going to change. Your circumstances are going to change. You have kids, you may not have kids. Jobs, might lose your job, get a new job, money changes. It's so much. So why should that be one thing that we're having conflict on? We need to fix that in our household.
Nice. Mr. Let Go, what you got?
All right, this is a issue that probably happens with every man and woman. Women are very, very good at studying their man, studying patterns, like Lucky Kardashian said earlier. A woman pays attention to a man's patterns. She literally studies a man. We don't really do that because, to a certain degree, we're not supposed to, but to a certain degree, we can do better at doing so, because women need that level of attention to understand them better. But the thing about it is, we are focused on our purpose, focused on getting money, focused on protecting our families, and women are usually focused on us. So they have somewhat of an advantage of the whole study thing. And we weren't or aren't raised to study our woman. We're raised to just get this money and fuck good and get more money. You know what I'm saying? So altogether, we can do better at studying the nuances of our woman to make sure that she's okay. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to that, it's just who we are as women and men. And that's not an excuse. But in order for that to change, we both have to sit down with each other when we're dating and tell the person what we actually need from the other person. Because men, we naturally are just going to do what we do, and women are naturally going to do what they do. You know, like Sheba said, you want a woman to be a man, you know, but you want a man to be a woman. You know, we spend all our energy, our mental energy, staring at you all the time, asking you what's wrong. We're going to get on your nerves. Just imagine you dealing with a dude, and every time you quiet, he like, what's wrong? You okay? You're like, yo, I'm just, leave me alone. You know, so y'all don't want us to turn into women. So be careful what y'all ask for when y'all want us to do something, because we going to start making less money. And y'all already complain about us not making enough money now. As black men, you won't have us making less money because we sitting there focus on y'all so much. We're not supposed to focus on y'all. Y'all are supposed to focus on us. So it's unfair. But y'all aren't required to die for us. So leave us alone and let us do what we're supposed to damn do. We're not going to be sitting around studying y'all asses unless it's a specific thing that you want us to study. But don't expect any man you get with to just study you, because we don't have time for that shit. Unless it's a specific thing that you want us to pay attention to, then we'll do it.
All right. Precious, let's go to you. What you got on it?
I think it should be a little bit of both on both ends. If you're gonna marry someone, then yes, you should study them. You should be interested in enough to study them. If you as a woman or a man know that you're going through a change, or a certain thing about yourself, like myself, I'll verbalize when I'm a little bit more reserved. I'll verbalize when I'm not in the mood, or you have to verbalize those things, because you don't want someone sitting around like, oh, why is she quiet? Why is she not talking? Did I do something wrong? No, you have to know yourself enough to be able to communicate with your partner what's going on with you. But you also have to take that time to study your partner. It's like watching the tape back, like we were talking about in the previous subject. You have to be able to sit back and not always, wait for your partner to say, oh, I need you to do this, or I need you to do that. No, you watch how they move. You see how they communicate. You see their moods when they're high, when they're low. That's part of loving your partner. That's part of being in love with your partner. It's an action. You practice that. And so it is your responsibility to study your partner if you want to be married to them. It is your responsibility to get into the groove with who you're with. It's supposed to be like a dance. And it's not going to always be. You see people learn the bachata and all them, them dances. It's not cute. They stepping on each other's toes. The hips ain't moving like they supposed to at first. But then when they get it, they get it.
It's a rhythm. Mm-hmm.
It's a rhythm.
Yeah, so let me ask y'all this, because I noticed we do this thing as millennials. Like love language is a millennial trope. And we do this thing as millennials where we act like we invented everything. So we just make new words up for stuff that is traditionally working the same way it's supposed to work. I think what everybody just said just encompassed the most important thing in any relationship, which is communication. We all just went in circles to say communication is the most important thing in a relationship. What do y'all think?
I was just about to say, because the reason why I said I feel like love languages is BS is because when you look at love languages, word of affirmation, act of services, receiving gifts, quality time, physical touch, everybody wants that at any particular part of time. It's not like there ain't no one portion of that you just want and you okay with that for the rest of your life. Right. Some days you want physical touch. Some days you want words of affirmation. We want it all. So that's the reason why I said love languages don't make any sense, because we want all of it. So, and then, and like, I have to agree with you that we make up these brand new words and these brand new terms to describe shit that we've always been.
Yeah.
But it's not new. It was established in 1992, the 5 languages of love.
It's really about being
millennials, but no, that was a grown-ass man that was born like in the 70s that wrote that book.
White dude.
Hold on. Yeah. And it's often used in Christian doctrines and teachings. And even though, sweetie, you make a good point, even though we want it all, but if you had to choose, the scientific portion of it is you would prioritize by way
priority, right?
By ranking. So yes. So if you had to choose, if you wanted your wife to touch you, to verbally acknowledge you, to buy you a gift, you would rank those in order, which is why they call it a love language primarily.
I would say though, but it's fleeting though. It's almost like happiness.
I thought the point was to identify the 5 different components of love. So you can be getting gifts all day without the other 4. Would you say he loves you, or would you say she loves you? She could be sucking your dick all day and you ain't getting nothing else. Would you say she love you? That's affection. So I think, like Sheba is saying, yeah, we want all those things to identify whether someone loves you or not, because if you stop doing them, you might say, oh, this person doesn't love me. But what would you say I want above all? You might not care too much about gifts, but I know I need to constantly hear words of affirmation. I need to constantly get physical touch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, this all come from a female mindset.
No, it's not.
Hold on. Let me finish. Don't interrupt, Queen Sheba. This all come from a female mindset. You know what I'm saying? I'm starting to notice they get a boost of attraction towards you whenever you're able to be keen on their behaviors and how they react and all this stuff without them having to say it. You get what I'm saying? It's like a dopamine for a woman to be able to know how she's feeling at any given moment and know what she wants at any given moment. It's an attraction that she don't have to actually go out and tell you this is how she want to be touched. This is how she want to be talked to. This is how she want to be listened to. This is how she want to have sex and all that stuff. I'm starting to see that it's an attraction that's mixed up with it for a female. We'll tell you if we don't get attracted to you by you knowing that, oh shit, I want some head now. We get the same satisfaction by telling you, hey, look, I want some head now. It's nothing for us. It's all a female trait.
So
men
you're
don't get
saying
excited when
learning how to love a man is a female trait, or learning how to love a woman? Is love only something that you?
Bruce is just trolling.
Yeah. So y'all don't love? What the hell?
He trying to go viral.
How does what I said suggest that a man doesn't want love?
Well, because if we can, we'd have to first universally agree on a panel. Can we say that those 5 components that they list could consist of when you would say someone loves you? And then I guess I would ask you personally, would you agree with the things on that list? If a woman did all those things or you did it, would you say I'm doing this because I love you? Or would you say, no, these are the 5 things that I chose to love?
You could say you love them, but you're not. But it doesn't mean just because you don't say that you're going to do these things, or you don't ask the person, what do you want from me? Or how do you feel about today? What do you want to do today? And she tell you what you want to do today. That doesn't exclude love.
But it's not the 5 love languages isn't actions.
The 5 love languages, from what I understand, is a substitution from not verbally saying everything that you want your partner to do.
No, that's not what it is. Let me explain.
I read the love languages. Let me explain it. Let me just finish my point. I read the love languages, and from my understanding, if your partner actually knows your love languages, you don't have to tell them. It's like second nature to your partner because they're learning you. That's my understanding. I could be wrong.
So let me explain it. I get it. Let me explain it. A lot of relationships end due to people not being attuned with another person's love languages that actually do change sometimes. All right.
Sometimes.
So like, for example, right, one of my love languages is acts of service. I'm a protector before anything. I love like making a woman feel protected. I am about acts of service, right? Because that's just who I am in my blood. That may change, like the primary one may change to physical touch. But at the end of the day, if my woman, when it comes to conflict, right, and we're in some type of discourse, and she goes and buys me something, that ain't gonna do nothing for me. That's actually gonna piss me off, because if you buy me something, that means you're not attuned with me, you know? And that's
you just made my point.
Hold on. I'm not done. So if you are attuned with me, which I said women are usually attuned with the man, and you actually do the thing that I need from you, I will actually feel love. And that goes opposite of what you said.
How about look
Hold on, wait. So my question is, you said in a moment of conflict that if she goes and buys you something, that will piss you off.
He lied.
It wouldn't piss me off. I don't care about a woman buying me shit.
No, I get that. But
you interrupt me for that point, Miss Lego.
But wait, how I look at love language, honestly, is how I look at horoscopes. You see how every zodiac sign, you have this characteristic trait. That means that all of us, I'm a Virgo, right? That means that all of us has to be this way and that way, and you got to follow this and you got to read that. Oh no, I'm supposed to be with the Taurus and all of that stuff. That's how I look at love languages.
Y'all missing the point.
What I understand that Bruiser is saying is that should be a communication that you have with your partner. So you should be able to like discuss these things. It's not going to be the first date. It ain't going to be the second year. It does take time. So it's not like it's like people are looking at this book like, okay, like especially a single person. They're going to look at this book like, okay, when I get a guy, I want them to do this, this, and that. and they're missing that I need to go get to know this person. And then they putting these labels.
But you can ask that from somebody.
But
I want to say something, but I want Precious to go first because she was cut off earlier.
Huh?
Go ahead, Precious.
Yeah, go ahead, Precious.
Oh, I was just responding to what Bruiser was saying when he said that men, if you want something sexually done to you or whatever, you're not going to react like a woman would, because a woman, you said a woman, it's a feeling for her. Like it's I forget the word that you used.
No, what I was saying with a woman,
You said it's feminine.
I've been seeing that it's an attraction for women, for a man to already know your vibe, what you like, when you like it, how you like it, and all those things. I'm saying,
but isn't that the same for a man though?
I'm saying that's fine, but men, it doesn't matter. We get the same satisfaction whether we can coach you through it or whether
it doesn't matter, bro.
Know it, or you have some type of good memory to be
able to. Other than head, your example was head. Give me some head whenever I'm happy.
One of the examples.
Okay. Essentially,
hold on. Other than that, I agree with you. But when it comes up, like I said, I want you to buy me nothing, So, like I said, my love language is words, not words of affirmation, acts of service. So I want you to do something for me, or emails, or do this, or remind me of something, or keep me like, yo, did you do this yet? I need you to like add something to my life, and that's acts of service. So I need that from a woman.
So on Christmas, your old lady,
give me something different, I'm gonna feel unloved.
So on Christmas, your old lady come by and say, "Hey, I sent 100 emails out for you."
Yes.
Merry Christmas.
Because you know what? Those emails that she sent me out would probably make me $2,000 versus buying me some dumb shit. Yes.
Well, and it saved you time. I think the point of the book, you guys, I think you're being too technical with love. And that's the problem. Sometimes when we get on these panels, people be looking like, damn, I don't want that kind of marriage. That shit sounds boring. She don't look happy. It's regimented. What? Your man can't tell you his love language because you don't want to remember it 2 years from now. People change.
Right.
Changing you. It's like riding a motorcycle. You lean into the curves with them. When he lean, you lean. You're not always in a curve. Sometimes you're on a straightaway and you go with the punches. And that's the part that we're not talking about. We're talking about the rigidness. Well, I'm not going to do this because this. And that's why it appears that as Black people, we're not happy. We're too hard on each other.
We're too hard.
We are too hard. Like we sit here with these hardcore ass rules instead of everybody pausing and say, you know what? If he likes that, then I'm gonna give it to him. And the moment I notice that he changes, then I'm gonna say, baby, you don't like that no more. I'm gonna change with you. Yeah. And that's the crazy part about these panels.
So technically, Queen, hold on, wait, Mr. Lego.
I'm not doing that.
Mr. Lego.
That's crazy. I don't believe in this. What is wrong with y'all?
We are actually in agreement. I'm saying that, hey, look, roll with the punches.
Right.
I don't think that anyone, that's what I'm saying. That whole love language thing is too rigid. This is my love language. This is no, it's not. You know darn well. At some point,
how is it rigid if it's 5 of them?
I'm saying that because most people.
All right, one mic. Let Lucky get in there.
Because most people tend. Oh, go ahead, Lucky.
Hold on. Swinny wasn't even done. Go ahead, Swinny.
Go ahead, Swinny. My bad. Then Lucky.
When we talk about these love languages, people tend to say, "This is my love language, and this is what I want you to go off of." And that's what makes it rigid. I'm not arguing that those love languages do not exist, that those 5 particular things don't exist and people don't want it. I'm saying that when people go into these situations and say, this is my love language, it's not. Because it can be any one of those at any given moment, at any point in time, especially when you're talking about being married to somebody for a lifetime.
That's why you know all of them. That's why you should know all
of them.
them.
And Lucky gave you the sauce. Exactly. She said the second part of that. Lucky
let's get Lucky in here.
She said the second part of that is observation. After the direct communication is also observation. So you guys, you're still responsible for knowing your mate. Like, you're still responsible. Like if you making love and somebody ain't moaning and talking, you're gonna be like, wait a minute. Do they have to say this ain't working? It's your responsibility. Be like, let me try it from the left. Let me do this from the right. Let me give a little bit of flowers. Let me turn this way. You still have a responsibility as an adult. And I just used like the most prominent example, but it's still up to you to get curious. Y'all keep using words like be curious about each other. But then when they hit a hard spot, you don't want to get curious and observe. She told you the second part of that is observing. To say sometimes you're not going to always want to talk to your mate and say, I need this. You don't want to be in a relationship with somebody where you got to spell it out all the time. If I got to ask you for it, you really don't know me. And that's why you really don't know me. Right? So it kind of works hand in hand, y'all.
You gotta ask. You gotta know what to ask for. Though.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to say, so if we just scratch the book, and we go off of what love is in the book people use when they get married, it says love is kind, love is everlasting, love is long suffering. It has things of what love is. Are we saying those rules are strict? Or are we up here saying that love is subjective? I may not do these things, but I could do. We have to universally agree. This is love, and this is what falls under it. This is hate, and this is what falls under it. We can't say, if I have one thing, this is just rigid rules. Maybe it's just the fact that this is what love is. And if you don't have those things, one might question if that nigga love you or if she love you. So, I mean, love is pretty to the point. So are we throwing this book away? What book are we subscribing to? Or how are we defining love? If we're saying these 5
Bruiser throwing the book away because he don't understand it.
No. I can answer for myself. So. I look at love as a choice. It's something that I choose to do. It's that takes place, because the opposite of love is hate. That's also a choice. It's not forced upon. Nobody puts a spell on you and force you to do it. It's something that you have to make a decision to do, and it's charity. It's a charitable action. That's all it is. But my thing is my question for the ladies. Don't this do something for you? And this is the example I was trying to get. This was the example I was trying to remember. Let's say in college, your boyfriend 10 years ago got you some flowers, and you ask him today, hey, do you remember what color those flowers were that you got me back in college, back in junior year? And he's like, purple. And he guessed it wrong. But had he guessed it right, don't y'all get some type of, don't that give y'all some type of like, I don't know what a word for it.
Nostalgia.
I guess that's the word for it. I'm not sure. But y'all get more attracted to a person that actually can remember the little romantic things that you encountered together in the past. You get what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I could say birthdays.
Remembers the first time he got us something? Is that the question? Do we get excited?
And the color of it.
Ain't that like a plus for a man?
Yeah, because it shows it meant something to him and he was paying attention.
Okay, so exactly, he was paying attention. Versus, so for like us, if I ask you, hey, look, you remember what happened with me and what's it called? We set out on fire. You remember? Oh no, I remember that. We don't get like, oh, my heart is broken. She don't remember the thing.
I call cap.
It don't do.
Did you remember what kind of draw she had on the first time you hit it? So don't play with me.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, if I ask her a question about whether she remembers some shit 10 years ago, it's not gonna be.
It's the same. It's selective memory. It's selective, Bruiser. It's all one and the same. It's
saying you're not gonna get euphoria if she believes it. You're not gonna care if she believes it.
No,
I'm of the belief, Bruiser, that I believe it's a choice, but I also think that men and women love differently. I think there's a different responsibility. I think that the universal law of love is normal, but how you show it is different from between man and female. That's just what I believe.
So here's a simple thing. Let me just,
Bruiser. Then we're gonna move on.
Let me just give it an anecdote of it, and I have to do this. So I went to the store, and I went and got some things, but I missed one of the items, and my spouse was irritated, saying you don't care, you don't listen to me, and all this stuff, and she didn't even want the shit I bought her. I'm saying that men are different. We don't behave that way. If my wife go to the store and get something, she miss an item. I said, oh, baby, I forgot. I'm like, all right, it is all good. It's cool. It's a difference, man. That's
you know why, Bruiser? And we can move on. I just want to answer this. Because women are past-oriented and men are future-oriented. Women want to know, like, what happened back then. And we men are future-oriented. We want to know, what are you going to be or do in the future? Like, I don't want my woman to get fat in the future. That's important to me. That's more important. If you used to be fat or you was fat when I met you, I don't really care. Are you going to be fat in the future? So it's like, if you are going to do something in the future, so like, for example, future talk, I call it future talk or past talk. If you forget something that I bought you, that I need, I want to be like, babe, next time, can you, I'm not going to say next time, can you get this? I want to say, damn, baby, last time when you got this, I felt so happy or whatever, right? But when a woman is talking to a man, you say, next time when you go to the store, can you get this? Don't talk about, babe, last time you did this, you didn't get that. So you got to make sure you talk to a man in the future and you talk to a woman in the past. Last time, because women are to a certain degree nostalgic. So everything is about what happened in the past. So if you use past talk to a woman and use future talk to a man, that might help out the situation with your situation.
Hey, that's God hitting the sound effects of you, because I don't have that capability. But anyway, I'm never believing let go again when he said he just need to answer real quick. I don't know what that was. That was about.
That's like
What is you talking about?
Oh my goodness, bro. Oh my goodness. All right, so real quick. All right, we're gonna do something. I want everybody in the chat to participate. It's just a simple answer. Not a let go answer, a simple answer. All right, the divorce rate in the US is over 50%, and it's even higher in the Black community. Since we're talking about love languages, is it husband or wife that fails more at giving the other person what they need love language wise? Husband or wife? Precious, which one?
That fail at it?
More. Yep. Somebody
Fail at what?
Can't be 50-50.
More?
Failing to speak the other person's love language.
The man.
I would say the man.
It wasn't your turn, bro.
Right. But I would say the man, just because we are more verbal and we might over verbalize, that may be something against us at times. However, men don't always exert themselves to find out the answer or to get to know. Like Mr. Lego said, is like, I'm not studying you. What do I need to study you for? That's an example of that. You have to be able to study the person that you're with. So I think that men fail at it more, and sometimes women can give too much that kind of works against them at times.
Let go.
Actually, just shit. What she said. We like I said when I said it, we got to do better at studying our mate. But yeah, I agree. We just be focused on what we're doing, and we totally drop the ball. And guess what? We turn around and lose our wife, we'll lose our lady or whatever, because we focus on the other shit. It's who we actually are, naturally are. But at the end of the day, we all got to do better at studying our mate.
All right, Lady Di.
I think men fail more because if they were able to express how they feel, because a lot of men don't, they just kind of go with it, flow with it. And they're the ones most of them are not getting the divorce because they're going and flowing with it, dealing with it, instead of just saying, hey, this is what I like. This is what I want you to do. Hey, I want you to be this way and wear that or whatever. They're more silent, and then, they do other things. So I think men fail more.
All right. Sweeney.
Okay, hold on. I think I might have misunderstood the question. So you said, because the way Lady Di answered it, are you asking who fails at communicating more, or who fails at identifying the other's love language?
Second. Who fails at identifying the other love? Executing it properly. Who fails more?
Okay, well, if that's the case, this is about to sound cliche as all hell. I would argue that both are failing. It's just one is willing to hear me out. Let go. I think people tend when people go out, they tend to talk about all the things they do. And when you start taking score about what you do within your relationship, you largely ignore what the other person is doing, because people often do the things that they do, and you don't recognize what they're doing because you're so focused on what you're doing. So you say, oh, well, I'm doing this, and this for him, but he's not doing anything for me. But in his mind, he's like, I'm doing all this for her, but she's not doing this for me. So I think both people tend to not communicate their love languages nor identify one another's love languages, since we're going to go off of that. And what happens is that one is more willing to walk away than the other. So when you see the divorce rate goes up, I don't think either one is more at fault than the other. I just think that one is more likely to initiate the divorce and walk away than the other. Because we do to one another.
All right.
But doesn't that make one sex worse if one is walking away more than the other?
No.
Ooh, that's debatable. But we moving on after we get the answers. Queen Sheba, what you got?
I'm gonna have to ride with Sweeney on this one. But I'm gonna kind of throw in a monkey wrench. I think women fell more. Let me tell you why. Women have been conditioned to be served. It's like a premier level of service, right? When you think about first class treatment, women have been raised, women have become accustomed to expect first class service from most men. And when we don't, I'm not saying we don't deserve it. That's not what I'm saying. But that's kind of, if you come up with somewhat decent adults around you that love you, they're going to try to pump that into you as a young woman, right? This is what he needs to do. This is what you need to look for in a husband. I think men try harder, but they don't verbally communicate it, that they're trying. And as a result, the women feel like they're not being heard. And the men think, you should have seen me. I heard you. I just didn't say it, but I got you. You don't remember that time I did this? I did that. I heard you. Why I got to say I heard you? Because my actions should have spoke louder than my words. But women are looking for you to verbally validate. I heard you and I got you flowers today. Tomorrow, I got steakhouse reservations. And men are just saying, I did it. Why do I have to say it when I did it? And the woman is saying, I need you to say it because that makes me feel loved. And as a result, he's saying, but here it is. And she's saying, but you didn't say it. And I'm out of here. And he's like, well, go. And I'm being silly and I'm trolling right now. But if I just can break it down in the most simple manner, that's how it works. Men are more willing to try.
Acknowledgement.
That's all I'm saying. That's it. And I'm basing that on my husband. When I give my husband feedback and I've come back and he's like, no, because you told me you wanted A, B, and C, and D. And I did it. And I put it in front of you. And my husband has also said, but I'm not going to change overnight. Give me time. And I think that's a part of the conversation that most men are missing. Men, stop being afraid to tell her to give you time. Give me time. I heard you. Give me time. That's it.
I think women are scared to give a man time because they think it's never going to happen.
Yeah.
Either they give too much or they don't give enough.
All right, Bruiser, what you got?
I'll say women fail more. Anytime you walk away from something, you quit, something that's unfinished, it's a failure. You didn't see it through. And it's because they got unrealistic expectations. And unrealistic expectations turn into unreconcilable differences. A man pays the bills, he protects, he preserves life, he fixes everything. He worked 20 to 30 years until his back goes out. So she don't ever need anything on a consistent basis. So it's inevitable we may not give a damn about some damn love language from time to time. And then she just run away. So.
All right, Lucky, what you got?
I actually agree that it's women, but my perspective of looking at it is because women fail to even communicate it in the beginning. Sometime when we date or we go into the relationship, and if it's so far in between, if he seems like the best option and however many times, then she's going to be more focused on being accepted instead of laying down standards and rules. So then she starts to bend things and she starts to say, I'm not going to say those things. And then men pretty much just think we've been doing this. Like, what's the problem now? So it's been a problem. She's just been suppressing it to be happy to just be accepted. And then now later on down the line, she's unloading all this stuff that she should have communicated in the beginning. So he's not able to kind of mold into that. I'm not even gonna say mold, but whatever. He's not able to kind of adjust to those things because it's like we've already developed a way of doing it. Now I have to introduce myself to a new woman because now you're introducing all these things into the relationship, saying that this is what you need to feel loved. This is what you needed that all along. You were just dismissing it when I wasn't doing it because you wanted to be accepted. You wanted the relationship. Now you got the relationship. You kind of feel like you hooked. now you want to tell me all these different things. And I'm of the belief women's wants about how they feel love change. So if a man can't keep up, it's like, or he feel like, bitch, I'm not doing this all the time. Like, I'm not doing this. Then it just becomes something where he gets more comfortable, and women always have to be excited. Oh, we went on a double date. Her husband did that to her. Why you don't do that to me? Now that's my love language. Or, you know what I'm saying? So I think we as women, we switch it up, and we expect men to kind of get on the same way. So I'm going to say we fail by way of not communicating it initially.
You saying women will stimulate with other women when it comes to things like that?
Oh, absolutely.
That's interesting.
I got one quick question before you move on, Trigger Mike.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thing I wanted us to, because I'm going to go off of y'all assumption that love languages is real. I'm just for the sake of argument. Do we focus too much? Because somebody in the comments said this, but I wanted to ask this question to begin with. Do we focus on too much of what love language we desire versus the love language that the person actually operates in and they give?
Ooh.
Because a lot of people tend to talk about the love language that they want and not necessarily understanding that somebody may not provide the love language that you want. And should you let somebody love you the way that they want to show love?
No, I'm not. I think you should teach people how to love you and treat you. So I think that people should love you to the capacity you see love. Because, for example, if we in a relationship, Sweeney, you might not trip that I don't text you for hours and hours or acknowledge anything. Me, it might be, I might trip on that. So that's just because you don't care about it doesn't mean I care about it. You ever been in a relationship and now you're trying to address a problem, and then they want to address a problem from a long time ago in your time of addressing a problem? It's like, no, you have to pretty much pick up what I'm saying. You can't just come in here now having a problem with something because I do. That doesn't mean because you wouldn't get mad at it, I can't get mad at it. So I think you should love people the way they see love, not the way you want to love them personally.
I want to piggyback off of Sweeney real quick. Oh, I can't hear him. Bruiser,
we can't hear you.
What I was saying was the reason why I said that was wrong because it's a charitable action. You got to let people love you the way they love you. It's something that comes from them, and you got to love them the way you love them. But people are using it as a way to make a demand. Like, I want you to love me the way I want to be loved. You're taking the charity away.
Then we won't feel loved if they not loving us the way
that's what Sweeney just said, though.
That's what I was trying to say about Sweeney.
If they don't, it's charitable. If they don't want to do it, that means they don't want to do it. Imagine being with somebody that you got to force them to love you. It's not authentic. It's not genuine.
No.
That's it. Yep. And I'm not saying it all the time. Like, I agree with that point. Like, I feel like if I can't be my authentic self, and I'm not saying all the time, I will respect my husband and love him how he likes to be loved. Yes. But if I can't love him how I want to love him because I'm being myself, I want to do it this way, even though I'm not going to disrespect him and do something crazy, but I want to love him in a certain way. Why is that wrong? Is this allowed? So in a love language world, you guys, is it wrong to love someone how you want to love them?
No, it's not. No, and can I jump in real quick? It's not wrong, but I think you guys missed.
Moving on.
I think you missed Sweeney's question. He's talking about understanding and the willingness to understand outside of the way you love. Y'all keep getting stuck in what you do. And that's why a lot of
not caring what the other
person needs and or wants. Right. And that's what I keep saying. Hold on. As Black people, we so right, but we so wrong when it comes to other people. Yeah, like you gotta have an extension of love and be curious about your mate. And maybe that's why we are with the 85% of divorces, because he just asked. He wasn't talking about should you have to break yourself to love somebody else. He said, at what point do you recognize this is specific to me, but how do I love them? What do they need from me? It don't make you right and them wrong. It don't make you wrong. It's saying, I see you, I hear you, I love you, I got you. That's it.
Okay, I'm just making sure that's, if that's how the
love. Doesn't it mean that the love languages are relevant when you first meet somebody? So even though they change, a lot of the times your primary love language is still there. And if you don't like doing certain things, that may tell you that this person in the beginning isn't right for you, because they may reluctantly want to give you what you need. Huh?
All right.
I was saying I agree because if Sheba requires certain things to feel love, and then me as a man just refuses to do it, that doesn't mean that I'm wrong, but that means that we aren't compatible because I'm not willing to love her.
Right.
All right. We got to get to these super chats, y'all, before we get to anything else. Damn, that was supposed to be a quick side topic. Remember, I said husband or wife.
Hey, Trigger, you gotta let us cook, man.
One word.
You gotta let us cook.
Y'all done took a whole
conversation, bro. I ain't even gonna lie.
Let's get to that. No, that was a good one. I enjoyed that. That was a good one. All right, chat. Everybody tuning in. Get those likes up. We're gonna read these super chats real quick. My man AP, $5. A closed mouth doesn't get fed. We're not mind readers. A person doesn't know what they don't know. Good panel tonight. Appreciate that. To go, $5. Faith without works is dead. Women manifest without doing the work. We on Lock Nation, $20. Appreciate that. Queen Sheba and Lucky, hearts. To go, $10. It is single by choice. They can get someone they don't want, that just don't want them, even though they are on the same level. Women just want the man they don't qualify for and will wait for him. Luis Rodriguez, $10. Women have love languages. However, ladies, men have respect languages. I think that's a bar. This name, $2. Love languages exist. They're just unreliable. Or are the people unreliable? That's a question too. AP, $5. Hey, luckiest. Well, Lucky. Remove the Kardashian tag. You're several classes above that. They can't even be your bra holder.
She getting a bag.
The AP again, $2. Not luckiest. Dang on autocorrect.
Hey, Tab.
To go, $20. Husband, in the same way, be considerate as you live with your wives and treat them with respect as the weaker partner and as heirs with you of the gracious gift of life, so that nothing will hinder your prayers. 1 Peter 3:7.
That was beautiful.
Yeah. Michael Jones, $20. Awesome panel. At the beginning of the show, Queen Treva tried to give Trigger Mike that smoke, and he shut that down with the quickness. Way too fast. To go, $5. Sweeney, you are right. The Bible talks all about this. This new age 5 love language crap, just read the Bible. I think it was derived from the Bible, if you asking me. Paraphrasing and stuff. Terenzo Jones, $10. Fifth Element love languages are all psychological. People looking into a book or society won't find it, and the sense it makes is what got us here. Otherwise, we're here, though, thoughtless, epidemic trauma. I read that all wrong. Dr. Nakumbe, $5. Psychological perspective. The love languages are to give you a frame of understanding about your partner's strongest desire or need. Can be one more than one. Facts. The Sigma Lenny Show, $5. Men don't study our women. We identify issues and take actions accordingly. I know I do. To go, $10. I've seen women allow certain men to do things and get mad at others. Love language is BS. Unless you mean love language changes depending on who is showing you that love. Kobe Jordan X, $5. Yes, Lucky, throw that book away. Subscribe to the book Bible. Everything you need is there. How we speaking for something we not even a reflection of? Shake my head. Dark Knight 89, $5. The panelists won't say it, so I will. Mr. Let Go, what the hell are you talking about? Congo English, $10. Bruiser, he tells it like it is. No filter. This society has a problem with that. Stay you, bro. To go, $5. Question for Bruiser. Has any of your leaders in the military asked you to give them time, or did they lead? As Sheba said, women think they deserve more. Caesar's Palace, $5. This is a trick question. If you give a woman 100% of what she wants and then 110%, women will walk away from a perfect relationship. I think that's facts as well. All right, I appreciate that. If you are just tuning in, welcome to the Lapeef Let's Talk Show on the Lapeef Network. I am Trigger Mike, your host for the evening. We got an all-star panel. What I need for you to do right now, if you are tuning in with us, get those likes up. Please get those likes up. This content isn't free. Show support and love to your people for the fire we dropping on you tonight. We appreciate the support. And as we get to the next topic, let me read this one aloud for you. All right. Let me get this out of here. Sorry about that. All right. Next topic is why it's dangerous to build your house of love without doors and windows. We all on love tonight.
Oh, shit.
All right. I'm going to drop this stream.
Metaphor.
Yep, let's go. Let's get it.
out the plane without a parachute because we think that that's what true love is. So what we're doing is when we're building a house of our love with this person, we are not putting in doors and windows because we don't want them truly to choose us every day. Because we think if we put a door in there, they may walk out. So we do everything in that relationship when we're building to make sure that there's no doors and windows. Yeah. But if you build your house like that, is it truly a house or is it a prison? There's no doors in your relationship. That's what it is. That person is there because they have to. They can't go nowhere else. And some of us, and it's probably conditioning, we think that that is normal. Now, just because that door exists don't mean I'm gonna choose to walk out of it. But let me tell you something. I appreciate the door being there because every day you wake up still here, that means you chose me.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
And so I think that it goes back to the point where we talked about the crash.
Yeah.
It's like my philosophy is we've been taught to love, but not necessarily how to leave if we need to. It's like the gas pedal. We've been taught to use the gas pedal in the car, but not the brakes. And we wondering why we can't stop without crashing. So now you think in order to leave this relationship, I got to do something catastrophic because A, you might not let me go if it don't happen.
Right.
And then B, I might not be mad at you enough to leave if you don't do nothing. So that's how we kind of live.
First of all, I hope y'all were. That was a lot.
My guy went crazy on that.
All right, we're gonna go. Who wants to go first on this? Why it's dangerous to build your house of love without doors and windows? Somebody got something.
All right, go ahead and throw my shit in the mix real quick.
Yep.
All right. Here's why it doesn't make sense to me. Because marriage is essentially in itself a house of love without doors and windows. Because it says till death do you part. You're not supposed to walk away from it. You're not supposed to escape it. It says till death do you part. That means it's a commitment before you, God, and the state that you will not part ways. So it's essentially in itself a house without doors and windows. We created this situation where we want to be able to put doors up because we want escape hatches rather than sitting in the damn house and working it out. You're supposed to figure it out. Because I said this the other day. I said, what is the contract? What is the terms of the contract when it comes to marriage? What is the terms of the contract? That y'all stay together. You only need, once you put the door in, now you got to come up with other things like, okay, well, now we got to come up with different terms for the contract, or because we're about to walk away from this contract, now we got to come up with terms of the divorce. So essentially, it's a house without doors and windows. You're not supposed to have them.
Okay, so Sweeney, I thought I was tripping. I thought I was the only one that felt like he said that.
I gotta go next.
Yeah, I felt like
on
he
a
said
natural
that
line of order.
All right, let's anybody who could go.
I go. I want to go next because I want to go right behind what he just said.
We're going to let go Sheba, then Lady Di.
Can I make sure that I'm following your question, Trigger Mike? Are you saying should there be doors by way of boundaries? Is that what we're asking?
Well, you know what? He made metaphorical doors, but I just felt like he said it backwards. So I think he didn't mean
able to leave. I think.
Yeah,
that's what he was saying. I don't think it was. Yeah,
say it again.
I think he was saying the freedom to be able to leave
a relationship, but you're choosing not to leave.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. So there's okay. Go ahead. Go ahead. I feel like you hot, Mr. Lego. I'm gonna let you go, and then I'll come back.
So I'm gonna go totally against what Sweeney said. That was dope what you said, but I totally disagree. And the reason why is that's not reality. Nobody's dying. And it's just not, excuse me, it's just not happening. So when it comes to something that's not happening, we have to look at what's actually happening and be prepared for what may happen. Like you get in your car, you don't think you're going to get in an accident, but what do? You wear a seatbelt just in case you get in an accident. So with all that being said, we can live in this fantasy world and just expect that the person that we get into a relationship with and we married, y'all going to be till death do us part. Is a 60, 70, 80% chance that y'all ain't going to die together. And with all that being said, we have to have that conversation. We have to have prenuptial agreements. We have to have a good understanding that if something does go wrong, how do we deal with it? Because if nobody ever put little life rafts on the side of a boat, the boat is just going to sink and everybody's just going to die. You put life rafts on the side of the boat just in case the boat sinks. So if a big ass ocean liner can potentially sink, a damn relationship or a marriage can fail. You got to make sure that in the event that happens on an airplane, you actually think the airplane that you on is going to crash? No, but you still got things that you have to see and pay attention to when the person says, do this and do that and put your I actually listen to make sure I know where the exits are just in case. So when all these things going on in the world don't happen, because I'm sure it's way more divorces than plane crashes, but they still do that shit every time you get ready to fly somewhere. So why don't we do that in a marriage? Because I think, in my opinion, when the marriage ends, nobody talks about the potential of it ending. That's why two people hate each other so much, because one person is like, how dare you divorce me? Or how dare you do this? Shit happens. What do we do now?
That's the damn
Okay.
problem. Let
Sheba.
go.
But go ahead.
So,
Sheba.
all right. So here's the thing. They're not talking about marriage. Half of this generation don't even care about marriage. So let's just level set. Let's stop fronting and capping. When he was talking, they're talking about relationships and their expectations, what women expect from a man as a husband, and he's not her wife, and what a woman expects from a man, and he's not her husband. So let's just pause there. Let's pause there. The second thing is, my grandmother used to say, everything is fair until somebody gets married. I don't care if you have a baby. I don't care if you have 5 babies. Until that man asks you to marry him and y'all exchange those vows, everything is fair until you take it there. So there should be boundaries and order. And if you didn't like it, you should have taken precaution beforehand. Do you get? I hate to sound like a bee, but that's the truth of the matter. And a lot of people are remixing recipes. I want a marriage from you without marrying you. I want your financial commitment from you as a man. I want your sexual commitment from you as a woman, but I don't want to be your husband. And then you going to leave me, or you going to leave me? You're not going to pay my rent. Y'all, I mean, it's all crazy. It is a wild, wild west out here. So in that scenario, outside of marriage, I'm not talking marriage. I'm talking about situationships, entanglements. And some people remain in them in this day and time. Not so normal now, right? Well, we're producing fruit before a commitment. I'm going to give you everything. Giving you the best that I got. Like Anita Baker said, before you commit to me, I'm going to give you everything. And then I'm going to place demands, and you don't even know if you like me 3 years from now, after I have a baby, or after I paid your rent, or after whatever. So let's just back up a little bit. Everything is fair until somebody gets married.
So
now, when you're, go ahead.
I was going to say, so if y'all are coming from it from that perspective, then from Mr. Let Go's perspective, where obviously we're dealing with a situation where there's already the house of marriage is already built with doors and windows because we have the state. And then what you're talking about is that essentially these relationships ain't being houses built with doors and windows. They literally you know what I mean, tent cities out here right now.
Well,
it's
you
the Wild
hear,
West out there, but
and I don't want to be a bad guy. You hear women saying, I need him to pay my bills. I need him. That's not your husband. You hear men say, I need her to do this, cook and clean. That's not your wife. Number one. Number two, let's get into the marriage. And let me wrap this up. You should have boundaries and windows and doors, because half of you just said you don't want a fat girl. And if your wife becomes a fat girl, that is a window and or a door for you to say, hey, I'm getting close to the door. I'm getting close to my way out. So stop capping and let's have real conversations tonight.
That's all I'm saying.
I think you added some context to what he was talking about. That's a good point. All right, Lady Di. And then we're going to go to Bruiser and go back up. Lady Di, go ahead.
So I was just going to say, I guess to Mr. Let Go's point, exactly. When it comes to the mentality, and I'm going to talk about marriage right now, and I could talk about relationships after that. When it comes to the reality of marriage, if people just walk around thinking that they can leave, they are. That's why the divorce rate is high. So I wouldn't say like, let's not think, or we should think like that. We should know we have an escape, I guess, to this metaphor. Like, no, don't know you have an escape. You should, because if you don't know you have an escape, you would try harder. You would put more effort in because you don't want to lose it. So that's, I don't agree with. I think in a marriage, you should definitely think that you cannot leave unless it's life threatening. I just put that out there. When it comes to a relationship, I get with Queen Sheba, what you're saying. The only thing is, it's a little risky if you don't know if the person can per se be a husband or a wife if you don't see the qualities. So sometimes you might have to cook a little, you might have to clean a little, right? Men, you might have to provide a little, because if I'm just gonna go off what you're saying, and he's gonna go off what you're not doing, and you're just saying it, it's like, well, can you? So I think, yeah, you should be able to look and act like a wife, look, right? Men should look and act like a husband. I think that that's very vital in this society. I don't know about back in the day, but today, definitely, because the Gen Z, right, taking over. A lot of them don't even understand what marriage is because they don't see it. They're looking at reality shows, and what type of marriage is that? So I think just to put your best foot forward, just like you do for an interview, or if you're, trying to get a job promotion or anything in that line, it don't have to be all job, but just in a way where you want to be impressionable, definitely you should be able to, do those things. So that's all I want to say.
All right, bet. Bruiser. That was good.
Oh, can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
So the gentleman used might about 6 times. And so he's clearly unsure that he can maintain a relationship. He lacks the confidence necessary to keep a vow. That's what I'm seeing. I may not be the most religious person on the panel, but I do believe when you truly love your significant other, you truly love them, and you take vows before God, God doesn't want you to create an escape plan. I mean, God wants you to trust in him and have faith that your prayers will be heard. I mean, but with all that said, I do believe God wants men and women to keep the state out of their decision as much as possible.
God doesn't want you to die. Your ass die.
So establishing, premarital agreements, I think is suitable. I mean, and these agreements don't suggest that one should stay or leave. It just allows you to have control over the outcomes and position yourself for a safe passage away from the situation if it does fail. But I mean, if he worded it like that, then maybe I can understand. But I think the reason why we don't want to get married right now is because we got one foot in and one foot in out of the door. Nobody wants to get all in anymore because we have this notion that there's always another option outside. So I'm gonna leave it there because I know
I got a question for you, Bruiser, before you slide on out. What decision making does the state?
Oh man,
here we go. But what decision making does the state have in your marriage?
What decision does the state have in the marriage?
In your marriage?
Well, when I stated that, I was referring to the premarital agreements. By being able to draft up, you and your wife sit together and draft up everything, all of the clauses, how you want things to be dispersed, child custody, attorney fees, maintenance, or what else I think they call it, alimony and stuff like that. And taking that out of the hands of the person behind the bench.
Wait, all that is the possibility of divorce? Why you got all that in if you don't think you're ever going to divorce? I'm confused.
Also, you don't need the state for that.
Well, what I'm saying is having total control of it, having some control instead of just allowing a judge to have control of it, of what happens if you do reach a dissolution or you do come into a divorce.
But Bruce, I thought it was till death do you part, and the guy who just said that is crazy. Like,
so as long as you're within your marriage, the state can't do anything. It's if and only if you have to part ways and break the contract, for which that's when you have to have the state come into play. Even before, like you said, the prenuptial agreement, you don't need the state to create a prenuptial agreement. You just need to you just have to have the ability to stick to what you said. So even if you say, for instance, you and your wife get married and y'all say, we're going to do this in the event of a divorce. Just like you're supposed to hold your vows, you can still hold the terms of the agreement for your prenuptial agreement without the state.
Well, I made a misrepresented the words in a way.
Okay.
And my whole point was just having some protection, being able to choose the outcome. You as a man and a woman in your relationship, being able to make the decisions in case it does fail. And that's why I said either having a premarital agreement or a postmarital agreement.
A premarital agreement, if y'all come up with it together and you say, okay, well, my lawyer got to look over it, your lawyer got to look over it, and we need a judge to look over it, you're essentially literally involving the state.
If you say, like you stated, if you say my lawyer got to look at it and your lawyer got to look at it. So you use the word if in there. So that suggests that you are contesting each other on whether or not you agree with each other. I didn't account for that. The way me and my wife did it, we didn't have to do all that.
And Sweeney, I just want to say this. You got to keep in mind, the second y'all decide to get a divorce, your wife doesn't like you. She's going to be in survival mode.
Okay,
she's going to go
right now. Y'all moving
the things she can get. So she's not going to be your wife no more. The day she's not your wife, she's going to be your enemy.
I'm not disputing any of that. I'm not disputing the phase after the marriage. My whole point was, when you get in the marriage, just try to make sure you choose right. And if you really love her, go all the way in. Give it all you got. Try to de-escalate. And if you can't de-escalate, like I said, I'm not the most religious person on the panel. I believe in prayer. I prayed before and it worked. And that's where I get a lot of my confidence from. If I lose any confidence, I'll pray and I'll get a refill of confidence, because I've seen him work in my favor whenever I was actually like doing the right thing. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I'm saying.
You're right, Bruiser. It's called lean not on your own understanding. So you're absolutely right.
All right. Okay. He get kind of you got kind of somber there. I was like,
I know,
right? No, but I'm just saying that's what I did. That's what I did in my marriage. You know what I'm saying?
That's what marriages should do. That's the order. You should go to God and you should work under the covenant.
But you're right. All that shit gonna go away if it ends. She's gonna have them that look at her
good
eyes.
Stuff, Bruiser.
But that's the risk. That's the risk.
Hey,
that's
look,
the risk.
War.
Can I say this?
Hey,
that's the risk I'm willing to take, because I look at love as charity. It's something I'm willing to give. It's a sacrifice. Like I said before, every man has to make a sacrifice. You get to choose it. You know what I'm saying? You get to choose it. And this is the one I chose. Yeah. I know what the risks are.
Yes, Bruiser, you're gonna make me pass that offering plate tonight.
Right.
That's why you should.
All right, my man Bruiser.
Shout out to Bruiser.
All right, Precious, what you got?
I think it is dangerous to build your house of love with doors and windows. I believe even in the Bible, I believe there's only the grounds of divorce is I think cheating and abuse. And even cheating,
I don't even think abuse.
There are people who are able to work through cheating. Abuse, I would say leave. I would say leave. But even with Bruiser, you ain't right. But even with infidelity, in a marriage, for better or worse, for richer or poorer, like you're supposed to work through those things. And so if you're practicing divorce in your relationships before marriage, it's going to be hard to, practice staying married with someone.
Okay.
So I think it's important to definitely, you definitely have to like and love the person that you're with. You have to be honest with yourself about that. You have to be totally honest with yourself about the person that you're going to spend the rest of your life with, because it's not a decision that you can just make off of a whim because of how they make you feel on a Tuesday.
But we don't we practice crashing a plane every time we get on the plane.
I've never practiced that on a plane. I'm still here and alive and well.
You ain't never.
You practice an emergency exit, not crash.
Emergency exit is what I'm saying. So
they teach you what to do in the case of an emergency.
But you get what I'm saying, though. So
Come
there's a
on,
certain
another
every
You
let go
scared
time
the
you
moment.
go
fuck
on
out
a
of me.
plane,
I was like, well, hold
that's a
on now.
conversation.
What airline is that?
Spirit, he flies Spirit. That's what that is.
Well, actually, Delta do practice not crashing, but they
No,
practice all
that's
shit.
Mr. Let Go Airlines.
Nah, that's Spirit. All right, Lucky, you didn't go fully yet. What you got on?
I agree with mostly everyone who said, because I looked at it as if there's doors and windows, windows represent you looking out at other opportunities. The door represents you can come and go as you please. That's in the dating process. Once you get married, there's supposed to be no doors and no windows, because now you made the decision. Everything I've seen out of the window is not good for me. This is why I'm in this house in the first place. So if we go into marriage thinking you can come and go as you please, what's the point of marriage? You might as well just stay boyfriend and girlfriend. So I'm of the belief, I think that we can do whatever as you're not married. But once you decide to get married, you should take those vows seriously, whether we believe it or not. You're saying a ritual. You're saying something under that. You're putting your hand on the Bible. All of that is a ritual. So I think unless you have your own vows, your own, official, all these things that you change that people do, I think you should take it serious. And what's the point of getting married under God if you're not going to go to God as a couple for any issues in your relationship? You should not be thinking about, oh, I'm going to go hit up such and such, or it looks sparkly out of here. And then you realize you outside and your husband or your spouse or whoever you was married to gave you a lot more good choices and characteristics than anybody outside, and you wish you can go back. So I think that that's kind of backwards to think you should have doors and windows, because I know that she can walk out any day, but she chooses me. No, we know you can walk out any day, but the point is, how about a mindset that says, I'm not thinking of walking out any day. We gonna fix this. How about we talk about relationship like that instead of act like if you find a good woman or man, they're disposable. Everybody knows once you meet a good person for you, it's hard to find that again. So I think if we stop thinking that everybody can be replaced, then we'll do better in those relationships.
And y'all people who got these houses with these windows and doors, y'all be careful. Periodically, you need to go out. You need to go towards that window and check the ledges to see if you see any fingerprints. Because if you do, that means somebody been going in and out of that window.
Bruiser, everything that was profound that you just said a few moments ago, you destroyed with that comment.
Okay.
I just want you to know that.
I got a whole other personality, man.
You almost made it.
Oh shit.
Carol, welcome to Lapeef Let's Talk. I don't know if you caught the video or not.
No, I didn't get to see the video. Good evening, everybody.
All right. From the conversation, have you grasped a little bit of the context of what we're talking about?
Yeah.
All right, please
So if
respond.
you get married, you shouldn't have windows and doors, right? And that means what? Like you looking out, like what?
Let Go and Sweeney had a good take on it. What was it?
You gotta keep the windows clean with Windex.
My thing is
not
clean windows for sure.
If marriages end as often as they end, it's kind of crazy to not expect your marriage to potentially end. So to me, it's like you got to have a conversation about it. Just like when you get on a plane, you don't expect for the plane to crash, but you still go through the wherewithal of the mask and all this other shit, because in the event of it happening, you'll know what to do.
So you're saying that you should have a conversation with the person that you're marrying, that if the marriage fails, that you have an exit plan?
Not an exit plan, but an understanding of everybody's responsibilities to each other after the marriage, because
the
there
doors
is a
represent your
marriage
ability to
happen.
come and go. The windows represent your ability to look outside of your marriage as if there's something better. In simple terms.
But is that only when you're having an issue though? Like if your marriage is going down and you guys are having a bad marriage now?
Not necessarily. I wouldn't say that.
No?
Not. Go ahead.
Maybe because I didn't see the video, so I don't really know where we're going with it. But
We'll
if I'm getting married, I'm shutting it down. I mean, that's it. I throw in the towel. And I'm not thinking that we're gonna fail. I'm not gonna get into marriage like, oh yeah, if we go left, you need to give me 50,000. No, I'm not doing that. We'll figure that out if that happens, but I'm not planning for an exit. I don't believe in prenuptial agreements. The only way I will sign a prenup is if my man is like a celebrity or something like this. After that, any regular person, we're not talking about no prenup. That's not happening.
But would it not be your decision? Like it'll be his decision. Like you do what he
It would
said.
be it would be my decision too. He could say what
Yeah.
he wants, I would say what I want, and then obviously if we're not aligned, then it ain't happening.
Is there a reason why? Is there a particular reason why you don't want to sign a prenuptial agreement?
I wouldn't sign a prenup because I feel like if you love somebody and you're getting to a marriage, everything that I have is yours, everything that you have is mine, period. Like I'm not trying to
Y'all, we not going.
we're
I see
becoming
the,
one.
I see the
I
fella's
wouldn't
eyebrows.
sign one. I wouldn't
see
sign
the
one.
fella's eyebrows. We're not going down that foxhole. We're not doing that tonight. All right, we're gonna get these super chats.
Only way I would
Mr.
sign, I would leave the house. But I'm saying only
And that's
way
why
I
she
would
wouldn't sign
would
one.
sign a prenup is if he is like a big business mogul. That's it. Because then I would say like, okay, he supersedes normality. So I would say, okay, he really hustled and grind and worked for that. So that's cool. But if you just get paid like $150,000 or $100,000, you got a little career, you got a little investment, like that's nothing.
But you realize it's not.
1% of men make that. Talk about some little.
No, I'm just saying like a career. Like if you're just a career guy that is successful, meaning like
just stay single.
$100,000.
just
Like
really
you're a
quick.
project manager,
Carol,
you're paid $120.
Yeah, just
what
stay
are you
single.
Hold on, let go.
Let her talk, man.
I got a
What are you
question. Carol.
conserving?
Hold on. I got a question.
$120,000.
Carol, I've seen the view from your house. I've seen the view. Look like you do pretty well for yourself. Okay. Now, because you won't sign a prenup, because you know if a guy's average, let's say you are making more money, does he get half of that too when y'all split?
Yeah. I don't care.
It depends. It's dependent on
don't
the state.
care. I don't care. I am not selfish. I'm not selfish. If I have money,
it's not just
we
about
have
money,
money.
though, right?
If you have money, no, but y'all saying prenup is about money.
It's not about money. Is that
Mostly
It's about money.
It's
mostly
protecting your
about money.
assets. Yes, it is. Pretty
It
much.
also-
It's-
Absolutely about
let me-
money.
It
Let me
also
say
has
this.
things in there about the children in custody too.
Yeah, it's about
Well,
custody.
you could do that too, but I'm not giving my kids.
Don't play with your kids like that. Come
You're
on.
not giving your
Yeah,
kids
I'm
what-
gonna do.
wait,
I'm gonna do
wait.
shared parenting. I'm gonna do shared parenting, whether we're together or not.
And
I'm
that's
not
the
gonna
thing.
be
The man's
taking the kid
unprotected.
from him.
Y'all heard it right here.
Okay,
A
what if the
man's
kid needs to live with him? Are you okay with that?
Under what
If he
condition,
is
Mr. Lego, other
if
than
he
you're a
is
man?
more stable and he is a reasonable man, meaning like he's gonna give me shared time, yes, I wouldn't mind it. If
Oh,
like
okay,
I have
cool.
a son, if I have a son and he's like, let the boy live with me, I would say fine. But if he's restricting me, no. But
What
if
about the
he-
daughter? What about the daughter?
No.
Oh, she got to live with him too.
No, kids have a right, y'all. Y'all keep acting like
girl
judges
gotta
don't
be
talk to
right.
kids.
Whoever they
No,
want.
we're not gonna go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, okay,
Ali,
thank you.
give me a.
I mean, I would consider
What's wrong with that?
it, but for a girl, I'm definitely gonna have to have
My
more.
daughters live with me. What's wrong with that? Like, why can't?
Well, I'm not saying nothing is wrong.
She's talking about
I'm talking
legality.
I'm just saying like I'm a woman, and if I have a daughter, she needs to be with her mother more.
You realize
But
she
I'm not
she needs to be
saying
with her
that
daddy.
I
Actually,
would
No,
never
Mr.
be
Lego,
like
you
I
playing
wouldn't
both
be
sides of the
unfit.
fence.
Like
All right,
I
all
wouldn't be
right.
unfit, so
Before we
I
get off
have
topic,
my
we gotta
daughter
move
more.
on. Before we get off topic, we gotta move on. We gotta read these super chats. Everybody, welcome to Lapeef Let's Talk. Shout out to the sponsor, Tish Hanley. We got our loaded panel. I don't know if what kind of CP time Ali was on, but my brother made it. That's all that matters. All right, let's get these super chats out of the way. Get those likes up right now. We got about 1,100 people watching. I don't even know what the likes are, but hey, get those things up right now. All right. Kobe Jordan, $5. Love language / zodiac signs is cap. Any man can finesse by falsely representing himself to you based on what he thinks you want until he gets the box. I think that's what most men are doing, to be honest. To go, $5. That video was just like Derek Jackson pandering to women. Salone Man, $2. Women that lead in the relationship lead and leave. Will G, $2. The opposite of love is indifference. That is a fact. Sapase, $2. I'm supposed to be editing, but this panel is fire. We appreciate it. AP, $10. Let Go isn't looking to build a house of love. He's building a straw tent with a wood-burning furnace of temporary companionship. AP don't even got jokes like that. Yeah, that was a good one, AP. All right. Sir Shy, $87. $2. Sheba, do not sing Anita Baker again. Salone Man, $5. A wife can cheat on her husband, divorce him, and take half his money, kids, and assets. Prenups don't hold any water. No advantage for a man getting married. Caesar's Palace, $5. This is funny, Sheba. Women want men to spend $200+ on first dates, but you can't cook or clean for this man. Men's time and resources matter.
Why do y'all put the $sign behind the number? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah,
I don't know. It might be a cultural thing.
they breaking the bank with that
Michael Jones,
$200.
$50. All right, thank you for this $50 super chat. I don't have. Does anybody got the sound effect? Anybody got a good beatbox? No? Okay. All right. All right. I want a marriage from you without marrying you. Queen Sheba, you cooking tonight. That is the status of a lot of relationships now, coming from men and women. Marcus Evans, $5. Dope panel tonight. I think so too. To go, $20. I asked someone that believes in the Bible, show me anywhere in the Bible where people got married the way we do today. It is a covenant and commitment between God and the family. No government, no pastor saying I pronounce you. Congo English, $10. Bruiser is foxhole material.
I don't even know what
that was
means.
an army reference, right? That's an army reference. All right. That means he's good. It's a good thing. You want him in the foxhole with you when shit go down. All right, DAP, DH Harris, $5. Sorry, I am going for a divorce because I want a celebration. Really? $50 just because we appreciate that. J. Emil Johnson. All right, Toxic Avengers. That's my man, Angry Man in them. How To Man, Israel, and Lil Podcast. Those are my bros right there. Appreciate the $10 super chat. Women always walk. Men stick it out. Stop the cap. To go, $5. Precious, I know the church gives more than one reason, but the Bible only says divorce is okay if there is sexual immorality. Omega Green, $5. To all ladies on the panel, give your man $1 million, a Lamborghini, substantial clout, and you'll see the windows and doors will stay wide open. Shit, give me that. Caesar's Palace, $2. Carol, just taking off the wife list. Yeah, get these men their daughters. We need to raise these daughters too. You wildin', Carol. All right, again, welcome to the Lapeef Let's Talk show. We got an all-star panel in the house. Get those likes up. Show your appreciation and support via Super Chat if you are feeling hospitable. All right, we're going to get into the next topic. The JR calls it the meat. The ladies like the meat. I'm going to call it the middle of the pancake. I love the middle.
I just got a text from JR, Trigger. You gotta swap Ali and Kara for the symmetry.
Do I really? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, bet. Okay, let's get into the next topic of the night. The last topic. Oh, snap. I don't know if we got a sound effect. My man famous around here. The whole podcast is named after something he said. Mr. Let Go got a whole topic dedicated to him. All right, we're going to play the video. This is called, and this actually got me in trouble today sharing this. People thought I made this topic up. You got me in trouble. My own mama talk about, what do you mean? What do you mean treat her like a child? I was like, Ma, I didn't write it. All right. Check this out. We're going to get this video popping. Tune in real quick.
Healthy understanding that women are children and you're not in this adversarial back and forth with an adult. You're in this back and forth with a 7-year-old. So imagine you having a daughter and your daughter comes up and says, you broke, you're this and that. You're going to be like, what are you talking about? What do you want? Come here. Why are you so mad? You're literally going to comfort her because you're mad about something. You're not mad at me. What's really bothering you? And you're actually going to comfort her. The same thing with your lady. When she started talking all kinds of crazy stuff or whatever, she's not mad at you. You triggered her and she's now in regression and she's literally talking to her mother or her father. And she's a 7-year-old child in regression. So all she really wants is for you to be like, you know what? Come here. What's going on? Talk to me. She doesn't want to argue. She wants attention. She wants to be heard. She wants to feel safe.
I don't even think you believe that shit anymore.
Stop.
You know, Let Go, but we're going to start with Ali just coming in. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, brother? Should you treat your lady like a child? Is that the question?
Yeah, we got
Women
the
are
dude here for
children.
context if you need it.
No, I guess I'm going from the video, going with Mr. Let Go say, no, you shouldn't treat your lady like a child. I believe if a woman is immature, that's and a lot of the brothers profess and making sure you're being able to lead. If that woman on your script, you just let her go. I think the only way a woman can behave like a child to me is if she's vulnerable, if she needs to be patient, if she needs understanding or needs patience from you, when she's truly vested.
What woman doesn't do that?
Can I finish? Let go.
I'm just saying that's a woman.
A woman can be manipulative. She can complain. She can be in her feelings, and she can shut down when she doesn't get her way. But I truly believe when a woman is truly in her divine feminine and she's raised by a matriarch and knows what she needs to do to be in a healthy relationship and be in the health, be a healthy matriarch and invest in her family, she'll sacrifice her feelings for her family and she'll love harder. I think an immature woman can behave like a child that manipulates, but a real woman is gonna invest more in love to secure her family.
Okay, my man. Carol, we're gonna get you in on this, get you on a topic where that's fresh. All right, what you got on it?
Well, Mr. Let Go probably has examples of this. Like people that he probably dealt with probably act like a child, but I feel like women are not children. No, where did you get that from? If she's mature, she's not going to act like a child. She's going to let you know how she feels and she'll be direct. And if she's emotional, which we're allowed to be because women are emotional, we're not children, but we are emotional. And you're just going to deal with her emotions, but not because she's a child. I just feel like that's very derogatory and
Carol, follow up.
Simple-minded, honestly.
Carol, follow up question. So when women do get over emotional, let's say in situation involving their kids, let's say you're divorced and your ex-husband got remarried. All right. And you feel like this lady's infringing on your territory. She took your daughter to a field trip and now people are mistaking her for you and calling her mom. So do you think when women are emotional, right, do they regress into childlike behavior?
Not every woman. I feel like it can happen. And
She
I
ain't
feel like
been
women
through
can do
She ain't been
it.
through nothing because
I've been through a lot. Trust me, you don't know. But I'm just saying that I know for a fact they do have women that have childlike behaviors.
most women do that.
Who said most?
It's just crazy how women have this disassociation with
You
themselves.
say most women I know, most women I fuck
No,
with do
most
that.
women,
Yeah, because
period.
all
I don't
my
even know
friends
these
are
women.
really gangster. They're actually more tougher than men. They handle a lot of
Said
stuff. They
gangster.
do a lot of they do a lot of things that you got to just do it. Get out your emotions
No,
because
that's
I deal with
trauma.
real women.
That's
We have
trauma. Being a
children.
real woman is
It's
trauma.
not
Like
trauma.
what?
It's
Hold on,
not trauma.
let her
It's
get it out.
adulthood.
Let go.
It's life.
You go on next.
I mean, are we gonna wait for somebody to do it, or are we gonna do it? Are we gonna be crying about it and complaining, or are we gonna get through it?
All right.
Every woman is not childlike.
Follow up question number 2. In today's age, do you feel like men are more emotional than women?
Men can be. I'm not gonna say men are more emotional. I just feel like that's too big. But I have dealt with more emotional men than me. Literally. Like them crying. I'm not even crying. Why are you crying?
Okay.
Yeah.
I let go. It's your topic. Take it away,
Men are big babies. Honestly, men are big babies.
Hold on, I want y'all to think
You
about this.
know, Bruiser, he about to talk for like. Go ahead.
He sat there and said all that, and
I
then
want him
turned
to lay
around
the
and said,
framework.
Men are babies.
I do want to point out,
Men
Mr.
are
Let
big
Go.
babies too.
Because your damn
If women are
very
children,
antsy and they
men are
just
big
gotta
babies.
talk. You know,
y'all go ahead, Lucky. What'd you say?
No, I said I want to point out to you on your topic, kids are very antsy and they just have to talk as well. So I do want you to keep that in mind when you're answering. But go ahead.
All right, so this actually happened to me in real time, and this has happened plenty times in other people's because I actually coach women, I coach men. So it happens on a normal basis, and it's something called regression. When you regress, especially as a woman, you act exactly like a child. I had an issue in a relationship where I was having an issue with my own daughter, but the girl that I was with felt
how my daughter felt involving her own father. So in other words, she got mad at me, got upset with me. She was mad at her father and not mad at me. So these things actually happen because regression, when you get upset, you go back to your childhood and you're actually mad at your parent for not being there for you, not acknowledging you. And guess what? I didn't acknowledge her at that particular point because the problem we was having was about my daughter. And I was offended, like, yo, we talking about my situation. How did you hijack the conversation and make it your situation? But one thing I had to learn was women are children. She was regressing at that point. It doesn't matter whose problem is what. Allow her to be acknowledged and put my issues to the side for a minute as a man and let me comfort her. That actually happens on a normal basis. But yeah, it happened. She literally got mad at me as if I was her father. So she was talking to her father to me, because this is what happens when people when people go through this. They literally turn into children and they're mad at the person that originally did whatever it is that you did, because you just triggered that person into that regression. You didn't do something to them. You triggered something in them.
Does anybody else feel like they just watched the video again? So let me answer this. This is a good video. I heard what he was saying, but the thing I struggle with watching this video is that I couldn't understand that, and this is really difficult for me. And someone on the panel may be able to help me out with this one. But why? And I mean, why was he so ugly?
When I heard the pause, I knew it would be
log off.
I knew I shouldn't have let that. I knew I shouldn't have let that go. All right, we're going to pressure. What you got?
I don't know. I think any man that treats their lady like a child doesn't want a wife.
See them as a child, not treat them like a child.
It says treat your lady like a child. So I'm going off of what it says on the.
She's not talking to you. You're not married.
But any man that treats their lady like a child doesn't want a wife. They want children. They want a child. Maybe they didn't do what they needed to do with their children, and so they see women as children because they haven't completed what they needed to do with their children. I don't think any
Can you
man
elaborate?
I don't think any I said what I said. I don't think any man should treat a lady like a child. I think you should treat her like a lady. I think you should dwell with her and get to know her as the lady that you picked. But if you can't do that, then maybe you need to be with a child.
If she's operating as a child, like a child, and not a woman at the particular time, what do you do?
Well, that's according to you. I mean, if that's according
It's
to
a
you.
psychological thing called regression. So it actually happens. You turn into the inner child.
So, Mr.
Right,
Lego,
but if you're saying that a woman can do that, so can a man. Men have children inside of them too that are not healed. Men have children inside of them that are abandoned. Men have children inside of them that are hurt, that are not heard. It goes both ways. If you're gonna treat your lady like a child, you might as well say men have children in them too. We all were children who grew
But
up to be
when
adults.
a woman goes into regression, that is when you see her as the child that she is, because her inner child is searching for something and asks for something.
And
you
what
gotta slow down
exactly
a
is
little
the
bit.
regression?
Huh?
What exactly is the regression?
Oh, good.
The regression?
What is the regression that you speak of?
When a woman, so like this, when a man and a woman are triggered, because it's a regression, it's not man or woman or whatever, people regress when they get triggered. When something in their future life happens that reminds them of something in their past that happens. And when this happens, they are now looking at the first person that did this to them, whether it's a man, woman, a father, or whatever, and you're angry at that person that originally did it to you. So you then are the 7-year-old, 9-year-old, 12-year-old person, and that is who you're angry at.
So are you saying that the person can't do this?
Let her finish.
I was the one talking. What are you talking about?
You interrupted her. It's her turn. But
stop.
you keep jumping in, and she's rolling out the red carpet for you.
Stop your damn mouth. Right, hush your mouth. So what I'm saying is, the beauty of my way of saying this in that video is you slow down and you don't look at your woman as an adversary. You look at her and say, oh shit, she's regressing. Let me acknowledge her inner child.
But
So
what
it's
if
not
you
about
actually
okay, go ahead.
are being what if you actually are doing those things? I don't think it's necessarily regression. I think someone can acknowledge and see that you're a problem just like someone else can be a problem. I don't think you can I don't think that that I think that sometimes men will say, okay, you're acting like a child because they don't necessarily know how to deal with or dwell with their woman.
Well, when she regresses, she's not necessarily your woman at that time. And you have to give her grace for what she went through before you. Because in most cases, you as a man did not do A, B, and C to her. You're triggering something inside of her. So it's important for you to take yourself out of it as a man and say, whoa, 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 whoa. This is bigger than me. It's not about me. Let me slow down. Let me give her grace. Because the whole objective of this and the whole purpose of this is for a man to slow himself down and not see his wife as this adversary and turn it into an argument. It's bigger than an argument.
Calling
It's
her a child
is
a form of seeing her as an adversary. You're not seeing her as an adult that you can work out this issue with. You're seeing her as a child.
Right. That makes it easier for us to deal with you.
For you. Stop speaking for all men, Mr. Lego, because I think it's offensive.
I
to
never
men.
said all men.
Hold on. You said for us. You just said us. That was a very polarized statement. But I'm gonna back off. But I don't think you're qualified to speak for all of the men that are comfortable with women and that have had successful relationships with women. So I just want you to talk about what's specific to you.
No, I said us, and that doesn't mean all men.
I had a quick question. So, Mr. Lego, if you removed all the trauma, or the lady was able to work through her traumas, and she was able to be, let's say, mature, would she still be a child?
No, no. The women or children side of it is when a woman goes into regression, when a woman gets triggered. That is what it is. It's not necessarily treat a woman, pat her on the head like she's a little child all the time. Is when she goes into regression. Is when she gets, like, people love to say, I don't like it because I think it's dismissive, but when a woman gets emotional, you slow down and be like, oh shit, hold on. Because the thing about it is, you wouldn't do your kid like that if they started, going crazy on you. You wouldn't turn around and be like, yo, what is wrong with you? Who are you talking to? You're not gonna get adversarial with your child. You're gonna slow down, like, oh damn, hold on, let me calm down. Hold on, let me cut this off. What's going on? And the key is do the same thing with your woman. That's all I'm saying. But see, y'all are triggered by the word child. But the thing about it is, regression is child. It denotes child. So if y'all want to ignore the fact that regression means going back to your inner child, that's on y'all. But
we're not triggered by the word child. We're triggered by the word that you associate a woman as a man and how you cannot.
You're triggered by the word child. And
no, we're not. Hold on.
Go ahead, Sheba, finish up real quick.
We're not triggered by the word child. We just want you to do better. We want more for you. That's it.
Okay. All right. Awesome. I was going to go to Bruiser next, but he forfeited his turn with that bullshit he said last time. So we're going to go to Sweeney.
Oh, hell.
Okay. I
was about to.
All right. This is a two-parter real quick. So I wanted to address what Mr. Logo was saying as he would respond to a child. It sounds a lot like conscious parenting. And what conscious parenting essentially does is it treats your child more like an adult human being, I guess. So because that's what people tend to do to their children is they say, don't yell at me. Who the hell are you think you talking to? This, that, and the third. So it kind of goes against what you're saying when you're saying treat your woman like a child. And then you say, when I talk to my child, I treat them like an adult human being and tell them, come over here, come talk to me. Let me see what's going on.
Well, to answer that is view your woman like a child when she regresses, and conscious parenting. There's actually a book called The Conscious Parent. So I thought you was talking about a particular book. The Conscious Parent does not say that. The Conscious Parent said more or less what I said in that actual video. So I don't know what conscious parenting, because when you said it, I was like, oh, you said something. But you're not talking about the book, because the book does not talk about that.
No, I'm with you when you said that this is how you would treat your child, but you're saying treat your woman like a child, but you're saying the things that you would do to your child is essentially treating your child like an adult.
How?
Because most adults, the parenting of old, right, was essentially kids that to be seen, not heard, not validating their feelings, not understanding where they're coming from, not talking to them.
That's a toxic parent, not a conscious parent.
Call it what you want, but that's what it was. And essentially,
meaning a positive thing. I just want to know is what really, you're saying positive or negative.
It doesn't matter.
Okay. you having two separate conversations, Mr. Lego. Hold on, let me just finish. You having two separate conversations. So if we're going to address irresponsible or unhealthy adults that show up to relationships without being adequate human beings, that's one thing. When you're saying that women are adults, what are we raising children to be? Children, or are we raising them to be adults? We're raising men and women to be adults. So men and women both can be immature and act like children. There's two different conversations you're having. And once you tell women that they're children, then you're promoting the cycle of society. If you're saying that these women are children and you're releasing them of responsibility to be women, that's what you're doing. So once you say they're women, then they don't have to be responsible of how they treat you, how they treat their kids. They don't have to have no responsibility for anything.
Well, like I always say, I believe the responsibility is on a man. That's why every woman must be married or they're lost.
So why would you marry a childlike woman?
To raise the children too?
A woman becomes childlike when she regresses. So it's nothing you can do about that. It's going to happen.
Well, that goes back.
Everybody is going to regress.
No, wait, I didn't really get to go ahead.
Hold on, Lucky. I'm gonna, because I did say that was a two-parter. We was going in that tangent, but that's neither here nor there.
Okay.
But no, I do believe that both people have the capability to reduce themselves to childlike behavior.
Yes.
But I don't think that you should treat them like a child or that they are children. I think you should address them as if they're adults trying to behave like children.
Meaning
you derail the whole. Once you say
demonize them for
once you say women, Mr. Lego. Once you say women are children, you derail the whole conversation. We can't even address women's behaviors anymore. They're children.
I don't want to address women's behavior. I want to just give her grace and just regulate her, calm her down.
Are you listening to what you're saying right now?
Yes.
So why you coaching women
every time?
Then why coach
I
women?
am responsible for my woman. I am responsible for my wife. I am responsible for my children. I am responsible for everybody.
Let someone speak. Then how can you lead a woman that don't want to be under your authority?
You can't lead a woman that don't want to be led.
Children want to be up under authority. What are you talking about?
But women aren't children. They're grown human beings.
Women definitely.
Like I said, Ali,
we have children.
What Ali just said, children want to be up under authority. Women are actually the dysfunctional ones that don't want to be up under authority.
All right, let's get Lucky. Did you get a full response on this, Lucky?
No, I was just trying to listen fully because it just seems dismissive. Like if I'm with a man and that goes back to the original conversation about studying your partner. She shouldn't have to do acts and do all these things to get your attention. That's what, if you're saying that's what children do. So if you understand your woman, then you would understand all the other things that come to play on how to deal with her as a woman. You wouldn't just dismiss her action and say, oh, you just being a child, unless you do your kids like that. But if you saying, I give my kids grace and this and that and the other, then it kind of also sounds like as she's being a child, do you enforce discipline? And what does that look like? Because kids need discipline when they get out of order and when they act overly emotional.
That's actually the opposite of what I was saying.
Question.
But you said we regress, so that means that there could be any trigger, and you could even think that she's triggered and she could be responding because she could be frustrated, she could be misheard, she could be feeling dismissed. We know how women look and how they communicate when they feel dismissed. They do other things to try to be heard, whether it's slamming cabinets, whether it's ignoring you when they hear you obviously talking. I wouldn't say that's her being a child. maybe that could be the fact that you did not study your woman to understand how she's communicating without her words. You get what I'm
So
saying?
whether I studied her or not, I get what you're saying, but what the video is saying, what to do now. See, I'm all about what do you do right now.
Communication, ain't that what Trigger Mike said?
Hold on. Think about this. Think about this. Say you in the kitchen slamming cabinets, right? You're acting like a child slamming cabinets. Why the hell are you slamming the cabinets? You're acting like a child. But instead of me dismissing you and saying, why you being all emotional? Why are you slamming cabinets? I'm going to say, just like I said in the video, y'all might want to play the video again. Come here. What's going on? Talk to me. What's going on? And I'm going to the kitchen, grab you from behind. What's going on? Kiss you on the back of the neck.
That's not what you do with your child.
No. It's the acknowledgement. It's the slowing down. It's the what's going on? Talk to me. That part, not the physical kissing
So
part.
it's the babying her. Is that what you would
Yeah,
call it?
yeah.
But see, the thing about it is I wouldn't call that how. Why do you look at it as baby and not acknowledge
babying her, baby as in child?
I'm saying based on how you're looking at it, why can't you just acknowledge her act? Why does she have to get to that level?
Right.
Because if a child is getting to the level of doing these said things, they're not getting attention. They've probably been yanking on you. There's different things before kids just get to that level.
Children want attention.
By your definition, that just means that there was something that you were dismissing as a man, or you know what I don't really understand how you're
or his inability to connect with the woman. Because here's the thing, I think what you're trying to say, Mr. Let Go, is that women are actually delicate and not childlike. You keep saying child, but I think the word you're trying to search for is delicate.
No, I use
That's
child.
exactly what it is.
No, delicate is like a fine piece of china. You touch it with care. You render
Like a
care.
child.
You kind of
Like a child.
assess how you approach it. No, that's not
Like
a
a
child.
child.
That's your inability to connect with the woman. So if you have problems connecting
No,
with
it's
the
not.
woman, just say
It's
that.
your ability
Just
to
say
connect
that.
with the woman.
No, it's
No, it's
your
your ability to
inability to
connect
connect
with
with the woman. Because some men
Okay,
can say, some men, more mature men that they have a deeper understanding for women, their mothers, their sisters, their wives, their ex-wives, whoever, and they can say, give her a moment. She may be on her period. She may be cramping. She may be hormonal, but they do not refer to her as a child. They say,
Okay.
give her a moment. She's feeling.
So if you in the kitchen
Hold on, let me
slamming
finish.
cabinet-
Let me finish.
Okay, go ahead.
She's feeling some type of way, which is a delicate state. So I'm gonna let her be, and I'm gonna come back to that. And I've heard you. Let me turn this down a little bit. And I feel like that's the thing that you're missing, that the rest of the men are trying to kind of coach you up on, and you're not receiving the coaching and the guidance that the other men are trying to give you. And also the women are saying, no, that's not childlike, dude. You create a space for your woman to be a woman.
That's exactly what the video is saying, Sheba. Why you
No, we're
talking a
talking
little
about what you're
lower?
saying.
He said women are
No,
7
that's
year
exactly
olds.
what I said. I said that already.
But you
Sheba.
called her a child. You
And it's
associated with
nothing-
being a
I
child.
said view her as a child. If you don't like what the video is, we can move on. I don't care. I said what I said.
So
Hold on.
let me say
So-
something. Let me say something. So
Go
I
ahead,
look
bro.
at that. I look at it as a woman expressing a level of sensitivity, and we as men being able
Yes.
to empathize with her emotions. It doesn't mean she's a child. It means she's just showing a feminine trait. It's not putting her in. It's not saying she's a child or she's in a child's place or putting her in a child's place.
Queen
She's a
Sheba,
woman.
pass that plate over to Bruiser because he preaching again.
Right.
All right,
Feminine
finish it. Bruiser, go
quality.
ahead.
Thank
Bruiser,
you.
did you get your total thought on this one?
I got the plate now. I ain't got to say nothing.
Oh,
I got my hand. I'm just
Hey, because Mr. Lego, I'm gonna tell you this. I will treat. There's a whole total difference in how I would treat my wife if she in the kitchen slamming cabinets versus how I would treat my child if they in the kitchen slamming cabinets. They didn't pay for them damn cabinets. At least she did.
She ain't paid for them damn cabinets neither.
Ain't gonna be breaking my shit around here. Think I'm about to pull you to the side and say what's going on.
Well, altogether, most likely you'll treat them the same way. You may not view them the same way, but you'll treat them the same way.
So,
go ahead, Lady Di.
Just from listening to this healthy debate, it seems like Mr. Lego is saying if a man, right? Men don't act like that. They don't slam cabinets and do, let's say, childlike things.
Mm-hmm.
So because women are quote unquote doing childlike things, meaning they're having tantrums, is what I understand it being. Then women are acting like a child. I don't think, and from what I'm hearing, I don't think it's like saying you are a child. It's just that if you behave like one, and I'm talking about tantrums, everybody that has a child know what a temper tantrum is, terrible twos or whatever. There are women who actually act like that. Now, being with
men too.
I've seen men
Called
slam
a tantrum.
walls,
That's not the point.
you know,
Yeah, it is because you're making it gender specific when that's
Look, Lucky, you did say you want to be baby, so go
I
ahead.
didn't say that.
Yes, you did. Go ahead, Lady Di.
So men, they don't want to be they don't want to be hugged and all that when they're angry. That's what it is. So if a man is, let's say, slamming the wall, punching it, that's more anger. And there are kids that act like that too, but they're not like, you can't go to a guy and be like, hey, let me just give you a hug and everything will be okay. No, you got to give that man space. Women, right?
Women.
No, you better come over here and give me a hug because I'm not feeling okay. So children, right? If they're upset, this is what I'm getting. It's kind of the same. It's like when a child wants, let's say, a lollipop. Sorry, sweetie, we don't have any lollipops right now. Some of them will act out, right? So what you got to do is be like, hey, you got to, I guess the word is what y'all using, babying. You baby the child and be like, hey, we don't have that. I'll give you something else. Or you could just walk away. Like if you tell a man, hey, I don't have this, they're not going to sit here and get upset. They're going to be like, all right. And they're going to walk away. So that's what I'm getting from
No.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Lucky. Go ahead.
Lady Di has the floor. Go ahead.
Now you
Lady
see
Di.
just saying what you want her
Lady
to say.
Di has the floor.
Yeah, she
Lady
is.
Di has talked all night. Go ahead, Lady
I
Di.
keep trying to make reason.
Go ahead, Lady Di.
It's okay, Lady Di.
Go ahead, Lady Di has the floor. Lady Di.
I'm trying to save you. And you
Lady Di, go ahead.
Listen, this is just my observation. So
Thank you.
I've seen women act like, I ain't saying all. I don't know what he's talking about. I'm not saying all. I do see this character. I do see the difference. There are guys who would be all crazy, but they're not wanting attention.
Right.
They just be crazy and let them air off on their own. But we as ladies, we do like when we are being paid attention to. We do like, hey, come over here and kiss me even though I'm upset.
A man likes that too. That means you don't understand a man. You don't understand a man. You don't know how to seduce your husband. If you don't think your man don't want to be touched, hold on. If you don't think a man,
interrupted Lady Di.
Shut up, Mr. Lego.
She's not finished.
But I'm not done. Don't.
Okay, go ahead, Lady Di. I cut for Lady Di, but
All
Miss
right,
Lego.
died then
Go ahead, Lady Di.
Don't make it personal.
Act like
to
a
me
child.
in my marriage. All right, don't do that. So
I'm not talking to you. I'm just saying in general. When I say you don't, I'm not talking. No, I needed to clear that so she can move forward. Go ahead.
All right, go ahead, Di.
I'm just speaking in general right here. So this is my observation of the majority that I've seen around in my,
The
area.
majority of women.
Moving many places. I'm a military brat. I've seen similar traits in multiple places. Okay. So I'm just saying that it don't matter the race either. This is just observation. It's all of us kind of do this. So it's just now treating your lady like a child.
Viewing, not treating.
Shut up, Mr. Lego.
Say it again.
Viewing, not treating.
All right. So that makes a difference. Viewing your lady like a child is just saying, if I see a rat, I'm gonna look at it like a rat. Why am I gonna change it to a goddamn cat? So I just get it a little bit in a sense of, I do see the difference. Men don't want attention from you. I'm not saying all. Most men that are angry or whatever, that's how they show their emotions. They don't want that attention from you. You better let them breathe and come back. Women, when we're angry, sometimes we do want the attention to like make peace and like, hey, apologize and
like a brat.
right away. So I understand the analogy. That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah.
All right, Sheba, did you get a full response on this?
No, not yet. So, Lady Di, let me clear the air. I wasn't talking to you directly, but I think it's important to level set when I say you don't know how to please your man. That wasn't towards Lady Di, you guys. And I just want to clear the air to make sure. Because sometimes we talk on these panels, and it's important that we make it clear that we're just talking in general. I think you're excellent. Love you. And I just want to make sure that we're clear on that.
I was just about to think you hate women, Sheba. Okay.
Huh?
I thought you hate women.
I know this is your topic.
I hate men. I hate men. You know, all that good
Sheba.
stuff. Yeah. But I wanted to put that out there just in case anybody confused that. So I forgot what the hell I was gonna say. Let me pass the mic.
Good.
All right. So let me get in here real quick. I got a question. Are any women on the panel willing to give a common scenario? If we are mature enough here, all right, are you willing to give a common scenario in which women do regress and behave like children?
Silent treatment. That's one.
Slamming cabinets.
Inability to communicate. Yeah.
The one Lucky said, the first one is probably the worst one. Men are supposed to do silent treatment. Women are supposed to do silent treatment.
So if I could answer as a woman, most kids become verbal. That I know. When I'm talking about children, when you think about kids do not become silent. That's why we call it a temper tantrum. So when a woman, to me, steps back, I think that's a very healthy notion, depending on the woman.
What age range would you say I'm just in general when we talking about kids, because I'm thinking of minors, so I wasn't just thinking of toddlers, because silent treatment, you know, when you get to a certain age,
teenagers from whatever. I won't say about 5 to teens, because I hear a lot of parents say it when their kids become teens. I can't get them to say a word to me.
The age is 7. Talking about, I would say something like that.
Yeah. And the only reason why I'm saying that is because Mr. Let Go introduced that argument about women being children, not the women. We didn't introduce that.
Yeah.
So most women, some women do behave like children. Some do. I'm not going to say all, but some do. So you are absolutely correct, but not all. Some people just don't have the skills in that moment, and we refuse to give them the space. Not just women. Some of y'all refuse to give men the space. Men be trying to leave. I think everybody needs to mute up because we have an echo. Some men, you'll hear men say, I tried to leave. She scratched me. She did this. She did that. Or blah, 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 right? And that's still on a woman. And also men do childish stuff, or men do what they know. So I think we all revert to doing what we know. Is it childlike? I'm going to say toxic behaviors. I'm not going to say childlike behaviors, because if it were childlike, we wouldn't have murder, suicides, domestic violence, because kids don't beat their parents.
If they could, they would.
If they could, they would.
But I'm just saying the reality of it is they don't. Some do at certain ages, or they take them out. But when we think about the reality of it, it's just toxic behavior. Call it what it is, Mr. Let Go. Stop saying childlike, and then also say, I don't know how to deal with that. And that's what I've attracted in my life. I've attracted a lot of women.
I just want to say this one thing. Just remember, regression is a psychological thing that does happen to people who have been through a lot of trauma. So I wouldn't say it's toxic. It's okay to say that, but I think it's just missing what people actually go through when they do get triggered. But if you want to say toxic, it's okay.
That's what you're describing to me. What I hear you say based on your experience with women has been toxic.
It's just look up regression. Anybody just Google
I think what you're trying to say is cognitive dissonance.
Yeah,
not regression.
I think we all agree that adults or women can act like children. I think the part we're getting hung up on is treat them like a child, because if we can say when your kid throw a tantrum, do y'all baby them or do you beat their ass? So I mean, if we being
you don't beat their ass, you baby them. You baby your lady, you baby your child.
I beat their ass. What's wrong with you?
You know what I'm saying?
You grab your woman, you hug her. Whoever is having a tantrum, you grab them. You don't beat them, you grab them. Woman or child, same thing.
No,
well, kind of like what Lady
wrong
Di
again. Wrong again.
Made the difference in my head, Lady Di. I was just trying to say I don't disagree with you, but I think that when you raising boys and raising girls, you have to handle them differently, just like in adult life. You have to understand, I'm a man. This is how I handle my woman. Not she's just some little ass girl right now. She ain't like little ass. Because you can't identify with how she's choosing to express herself is my point. It could be slamming the cabinets was an extreme, but I was just pointing out the fact that if we saying treat her like a child, what do you do with your child if your child comes slamming the doors in your house? yelling at you, getting in your face.
You
You gonna
baby
sit up here
them.
and say
No, you don't. No,
Something's wrong, and
no.
you gotta attend to them and see what's
Show
wrong.
the
You
difference.
know what tantrum means? That's actually the person is protesting and there's a problem, and beating them is only making the problem worse. You tend to them, whether it's your woman, whether your child. Something's wrong. They're protesting, slamming cabinets or whatever. It's a protest. They
Can
want
I tend to
attention.
them by beating their ass?
Yeah,
Bro,
eventually.
like now
Yeah,
that's
eventually.
toxic.
No, that's not toxic. What you that a child's when kids are children or kids being children, that's a development phase. That's when they're developing. You're teaching them to be adults. And those kids still have to be responsible for themselves as well too. Let go. They can't just do whatever they want to do. But you're teaching them to mature into adults, into healthy adults. So when you're saying a woman is a child, you're releasing her responsibility. When you're telling a kid they can't just be a child either, you're just being understanding of the fact that they are a child, but they're learning behavior to grow into adults. You and we make sure they're responsible and accountable, but you're telling women they don't have to be accountable or responsible, acting like children. That's what you're doing. And you keep making us stay stuck here now. Because no one can't, if you keep saying that, we can't even move on the conversation because you're stuck at saying that women are children. So we just stand right here. We can't we don't have to hold women accountable anymore.
Think about this, Ali. Think about this. Your child, as they're growing up, you want to teach them to be responsible so they can leave you and live on their own.
And be an
when
adult.
you have a woman that you view as
and-
your wife, she ain't leaving you and moving on their own. You're always going to be responsible for them. That is the difference.
You don't reward
But if you
bad
treat her like
behavior,
a
though.
child,
That's enabling.
It's not
She's
bad
doing-
behavior.
You
She's
leave
just
you and move on.
regressing.
No,
Why
you
are
don't
we
enable.
allowing Mr. Let Go to hijack this conversation with how he
like
view
it.
women instead of us moving on?
My video was the conversation. I am the conversation. Sheba, stop hating.
Oh my! Well, we
I
gonna
think you've
move
been waiting a
on.
long time to say those words.
I want to say something.
Lady Di, go ahead.
If a man, and he ain't the only one I've heard said this, if a man says women act like children, why the hell would you want to act like that? That means that somebody need to make a change. I don't want to act like that. I don't want to be a child. Why is he saying that we're acting like kids? You ask the man, he say, hey, you're doing these things. You're like, cool. Well, I don't want to do that because that is kind of like childlike. We all agree that it's childlike. And then you just changed. I mean, I'm just going to look at it just for a resolution. That's
Lady Di, don't you think the panel has a certain amount of cognitive dissonance, acting like they ain't never seen no woman act like no damn child?
I don't think nobody on the panel said that. We're talking about the treat.
And again, you're using the wrong term. Do you mean reference point? Does the panel not have a reference point? I think that's what you're trying to say.
Y'all are having cognitive dissonance.
We just don't agree with
pajama. Look at the bruiser. Bruiser like, yo, I'm gonna go to bed on y'all
We
ass.
just mad because Precious ate you up.
He's just mad because he ain't got the body like me.
Look,
She got you
Y'all,
together.
hey, y'all can't get mad at me being in my. I got my savage. What is it?
Dog,
Savage.
I don't know what look more
savage
flail than a light-skinned chest. Like I don't.
Baby. Hey, y'all don't say no when Anton go and put his robe on. Somebody got to carry the torch.
Hold on. I just want to say this. Precious.
I think Anton got like a
opened her mouth
Versace robe.
for the first time. First of all, I want to shout out to Precious. She finally opened her mouth and said more than 3 words since we've been on the panel for like, I don't know how long. So shout out to Precious. That was
You gotta clap back.
I opened up. I was like, oh shit.
Stop being a child. Stop being a
Oh,
child.
is that the reason for this
Stop being a
conversation, Mr.
child.
Lego?
I think he's trying to provoke.
Somebody chose the
some
video,
regret.
whether it's JR or somebody else. So no. I did a podcast
Regression,
months
Mr.
ago,
Lego.
and JR
Regression.
found the video and
All right.
made it a
Oh,
topic.
okay. I found your
I do have
example
a-
pretty familiar.
I do have an equalizing question, so we can get off of Let Go's topic since he loves this being about him. By the way.
Oh yes.
All right, this is a bit of an equalizer. Get ready. Modern men are known to be more emotional and less stoic compared to previous generations. What is the single greatest contributing factor to this problem? Anybody?
Bitch assness.
Anybody but Let Go.
I'll jump in real quick.
Good question.
So I think it's a double-edged sword. On one hand, you have men of the past that didn't talk, and when you think about how men internalize and the medical conditions that result because of that, men tend to die more. I mean, at a higher rate by heart attacks, right? Because they do internalize. So on one hand, we lost men because they didn't talk, right? And then we're teaching them to open up and talk, or we want them to express themselves, and then we penalize them and we weaponize them for it. I think it becomes like what we're seeking is a healthy balance. We want men to talk. It's important for men to talk. How can you lead your households? How can you become great leaders if you don't talk? You have to talk. It's essential to human connectedness, to healthy relationships, successful marriages, being pillars in the community. So we want them to talk. We want them to be able to evoke emotions at the right time. But if you continue to say, call them out for it, right? But also it's up to them to assess when it is appropriate and the right time. So I think we got a lot of work to do. I think we're well under our way. And I think that's when you guys, as the older guys, should be tending to the younger men to say, okay, that was good. But in this scenario, you gave a little bit too much. Pull back on this. That was an overreaction. So it's a little bit of this and that. And I think if we could have all hands on decks, eventually they'll get there, if that makes any sense.
All right.
And we need all hands on deck, man, because right now our communities is within the limits of our household. We as Black people specifically don't got nowhere we can go and get any guidance on any standards or principles as a community to say, so we can be on the same level and have a mutual interest in some type of understanding. But we so scattered with different thoughts and stuff, when we talk to one another on these platforms, we become unfamiliar to certain ideologies and principles. So now we got to try to dissect everything instead of communicating with each other and trying to be level-headed and trying to understand one another.
Bruiser, I disagree. Why we have access to everything, and everything we choose to look at, watch, or familiarize ourselves with. These are choices. And I know sometimes there's so many different choices. We just scroll through so many different things, but all together, we still have control of those things. So we have so much access where it's like we don't know what to do. But if we sit down and make a choice,
the problem with so much access is we become open to misguidance and misinformation.
Mm-hmm.
We actually have a community that's specific for Black people that we can go to, we can travel to and say, okay, how do I do these things? Where do I put my money at? Where do I go into business? Where are the Black people that are doing this thing? Now,
you don't think it's easier to access these days?
You know what people do in the Black people tend to do? They tend to say, well, the other race is doing this and the other race is doing that because our race ain't doing shit.
But we got access to whatever it is we want. We just got to find it.
But that's the problem. Instead of having access to everything, it's best to have access to something precise.
But that part is a choice. We are making choices to have access to all these different things. We can find exactly what. I think that's the beauty of where we are now versus in the 80s and the 90s.
It was always
damn encyclopedia or some shit.
When we were at the top of our game, when we was at the top of our social economic status as Black people, we had a standard. We had a place in the economy. We had a place in society. We had a street. We had something precise. We don't have that no more. We don't have any standard.
So you're saying our standards have gotten diluted due to the fact that everybody's everywhere?
If you line up 100 households and they're all Asian, if you go to every one of those households, you can get similar things and similar perspectives and similar way of life from all of those households. If you line up 100 Black families, we're all over the place. We got a little bit of everybody else's culture and everybody else's races in our house.
That means we're making bad choices then. Because that means somebody is doing something right with all of this stuff that we dealing with too. But those people are choosing to make different choices than us. They have the same access as we do. They're making different choices. That's all I'm saying.
All right. Anybody else got anything on this?
What was the question exactly?
All right. So I said modern men are known for being more emotional and less stoic compared to previous generations of men. What is the single greatest contributing factor to this problem?
Oh, single mother household.
Single mother household.
I can keep going.
Okay.
Somebody said bitch ass nigga or something like that.
All right.
I didn't want to
So,
say it, so thank you, Lucky.
Yeah, single
So-
mother households. That's easy.
Stoicism is a person who can endure pain or hardship without showing their feelings or complaining. So if you're talking about on a large scale, so how we endure the outside world, yes, I think men have become way more vocal about sharing their displeasure with society at large. As far as, you know, you got more men complaining about their jobs, you got more men complaining about not getting enough or what have you. But when we're talking about our relationships to our women, I think there was a period in time where we stopped being vocal. Because I think if you're talking when we had a marriage rate of 80%, you don't make it there on people who don't speak. I think men were very vocal at that time about how they deserve to be treated from their women. And then there was a period in time where I think Anton talks about this a lot. A period in time where men got weak in their relationships, where there was the women are the sister, mother, God, and it's happy wife, happy life, and we stopped being vocal, and now we're back in the space where we're trying to be vocal again, and it's all spewing out online. That's the whole reason we're doing exactly what our grandfathers did, except for we're doing it on these panels now. You got a whole manosphere that has been created out of men being suppressed within their relationships about the things that they want within their relationships. I don't think our grandfathers used to weren't vocal in their relationships.
All right.
You say
Anybody
you don't
else?
think that men were not vocal.
I wouldn't compare the manosphere to the men back there who actually built businesses and community and economic.
I'm not making a direct comparison. I'm saying that the manosphere is a direct result of men starting to be more vocal. It may be it's represented differently.
Is that a good thing?
What good is your voice if y'all not really doing?
Hold on, but is that a good thing or a bad thing, Sweeney? The manosphere, in your opinion?
Man, we're here right now, ain't we?
I think
Who is here? I know damn manosphere.
I didn't say that you're a manosphere, but this is a result of that. This
What is
whole
the result
panel,
of that?
all these different conversations that we've been seeing pop up online, different podcasts and everything else is a direct result of men starting to be way more vocal online. It's a direct result of it. Because none of this
please
4
don't
or
try
5
to
years
figure out
ago.
how to deny that.
Right.
What
Is it? There's a difference between being vocal and being productive.
Right.
No, I agree.
I'm not fighting you. Hold on, I'm not fighting you.
Like little women.
So my question to you, because you got people that spew whatever they want to spew. That's called a freedom of speech.
Right.
So there's a difference between men and women being vocal. In your opinion, has the manosphere been productive? From your opinion,
I think aspects of it, yes.
I had a question, Sheba, to that. So I know you mentioned the word hateful. So if there are people that's giving out critiques, you're saying that that's hateful?
that's not what I said.
So, okay. The videos that we're speaking about are guys like giving out or saying, hey, well, these women ain't doing this and they ain't shit or whatever. Isn't that like a critique?
So that's a generalization. That's not a critique. That's like a white man saying all black men are thugs. That's a generalization. That's a stereotype amongst a demographic. If we look at what our men are faced with, that's a stereotype based on the color of your skin. What I'm saying is if we peel it back a little bit for the manosphere and become more specific, and that's what we're not engaging. That's not what we're not introducing in these conversations. Men are generalizing these conversations instead of speaking from direct experience. And at that point, you become reckless and irresponsible because what you have to say is, this has been my personal experience. Now, you ain't got to go into deep, You can say this happened or my homeboy. And because of that, here's what I think should happen. And that's the part we're missing. And we're just letting every Tom, Dick, and Harry have an episode, a podcast, and he's saying whatever the hell he want to say. And we have no data points. We have no reference point. We don't know where the hell they came from. They're not getting on camera. We don't know where they work. We don't know what they're doing in the community. That's reckless. And y'all tune into it every fucking week. Excuse my language. And yeah, hell, and you back them up, and it's reckless. You don't know them.
The problem that I see in this whole Oh, go ahead.
Hold on, Mr. Lego. I would
Go
say
ahead.
that I would beg to differ, because one thing that I have noticed that I've seen from men from Mr. Lego, from Trigger Mike, from Lapeef Let's Talk, Kevin Samuels actually, and to some degree Fresh and Fit.
And Bruiser.
We're not
To some
Manosphere,
degree,
though.
to some degree, even Fresh and Fit, they talk to women. They invite women. Now, granted, we could talk about the quality of women they bring on, and we can have that argument. But they are actually, I don't see very many times before that when I've seen women have these conversations within themselves about their problems with men, of them bringing on men to have conversations with men. So I would say,
hold on. Let me say this, because this is important. The majority of the dudes in the Manosphere don't have children, ain't never been married. I know Kevin Samuels has been, but he actually denounced the Manosphere. So according to Kevin Samuels' words, he wasn't Manosphere. And you said Trigger Mike, you said me, Bruiser. I don't think we're in that Manosphere crap.
I'm not necessarily saying that you are.
Hold on. Somebody brought up Manosphere, and Queen Sheba asked a question about a Manosphere. So in specific, we're talking about the Manosphere right now. These dudes ain't got no kids. They ain't never been married. They ain't got shit. So they just a whole bunch of dudes, and a lot of the dudes don't even show their faces, and they just be on there spewing hate to men about women. What me, I may be talking crazy to women or whatever, but I am here to help women. And y'all may say, change your tone, whatever. Regardless of what, I coach women, I help women, I speak to women. So when I say get your ass in the gym because you're too fat or whatever, I'm talking to women. A lot of these dudes in the Manosphere, they talking about women to men, and it actually makes no sense, because who are you helping if you're talking to men about women? Talk to men about men. I talk to women about women. So to a certain degree, whether you like what I do or not, they're so unproductive where it's crazy, and it's almost dysfunctional, because you ain't got no kids, you ain't never been married, you ain't doing nothing out here in the community, and you talking about women to men. What is the point other than to just be on YouTube and just spewing out bullshit?
I beg to differ, considering the fact that there are a lot of people who've come from spaces where they're talking. I mean, part of the Manosphere is talking about fathers' rights, things like that. They don't come from not having kids. That come from experience. So, and the reality is that a lot of us have platforms because people, now granted, you're right. There are aspects of the Manosphere that is very toxic, but those people who tend to try to seek more, they tend to gravitate towards you, Mr. Let Go, to Trigger Mike. This is a direct result of that Manosphere, of the Manosphere talking points. And then they start to be like, okay, well, there got to be more to it. There got to be more to it. So then they come over here. And then they see, okay, now you got men and women having conversations with one another. I would say that the only point I'm trying to make is that men becoming more vocal online has created the conversations that we're having today. I'm not sitting here trying to defend and say that every single conversation that they've ever had was productive, but those conversations, those complaints, them being more vocal, this is a direct result of that.
Just for the record, you may not notice this particular came from Clubhouse. Just for the record, this right here, I can only talk about this. Lapeef Let's Talk, the whole Lapeef Network. This came from Clubhouse. We were crazy on Clubhouse, not Manosphere. This, with all these people on the panel, JR started all this shit. This did not come from the Manosphere. This came from Clubhouse. Everybody was on Clubhouse in 2020, and everybody was just doing this shit here, just on Clubhouse. He decided to bring this over here, and everybody started doing this.
Clubhouse had the same conversations,
not the Manosphere. I just want to say
Clubhouse had the same conversations. You can, whether Manosphere was also existed on Clubhouse.
I'm just saying it didn't come from the Manosphere. It came from Clubhouse.
The Manosphere was all right. Whatever. The point is, men being more vocal, whether you're on Clubhouse, whether on YouTube, whether on TV, national TV, whatever you want to call it, men being more vocal begin to create the conversations that we're having now. So while a lot of those things may have started out toxic, they may have had elements of toxicity. We're trying to have more productive conversations today. That's why we're having conversations right now. You can't say that what we're doing right now isn't positive, because if it isn't, then we all might as well cut off our cameras, cut off our microphones, and call it a day.
All right.
Yeah. So
Tonight has been a great conversation. It has been
Bruiser,
productive.
go ahead, and then I'm gonna get the next topic going. Go ahead, Bruiser.
So basically, what I look, I mean, everybody reserves the right to have an opinion about what they think the manosphere is, whether it benefits you or whether or not. Me personally, I do see some guys out there, to Queen Sheba's point, that come on there and they never show their face. You never know who they look at, and they may spew hatred and may complain to a point to where even if you tell them, hey, look, I've done this, you could do this. No, fuck that, there ain't no hope. Those people you just gotta ignore. You're gonna run into them on a Manosphere, you're gonna run into them in a Walmart, you're gonna run into them in a gym. Don't matter where you are. You're gonna run into people. You're gonna run into people like that all the time. But I think the Manosphere is important because it gives us an opportunity as men to come together and try to understand what's going on and what's in the best interest for men specifically. And when we try to do that on other platforms, like platforms that's highly monitored and restricted to a point where you can get canceled based on what you could say, now we have to run to a place, we have to run into a corner and figure out how can we still have a conversation. There's some positive things you can get from it. There's also some things you need to try to ignore and try not to let come into you. But for the most part, it's useful. You just gotta, what they say, eat the meat and spit out the skin. I know it's bones. I was just fucking with you. But yeah.
Trigger Mike, can I just address that real quick before we move on? So I think to be very intentional and to be responsible, I'm not going on a history lesson, but a lot of what's wrong with us has absolutely nothing to do with us. Like what's happened to us, and I think the biggest fact then what's happened to us is the programming and condition of people to live in their feelings by first controlling men and their masculinity to lead, provide order, provide direction, and redirection when we're off track and in disorder. So then feminism was implemented, the LGBT movement, and people living in their feelings, which has caused people to refrain from being accountable and responsible for their behaviors, which also has led to self-hate, hate towards each other, women hating men hating women, and children hating their parents and hating themselves. And in society, all of us collectively engaging in identity crisis, which ultimately is because we are taught to go away from our purpose, which is investing in greater people that create families. You have to get they create families, excuse me, but you have to get rid of men to control the women and children. And this is why when men tell the truth and express their emotions, it's toxic masculinity, and men hate women. And when women speak, it's empowerment and self-mastery, which leads to people only loving themselves and promoting the destruction of society. So the only way society will ever work is God, or you want to say spirituality, man, woman, and child to continue procreation in life. So they've destroyed order.
Okay. All right. Well, shoot. We want to get final thoughts in there. First off, I'm sorry. Mr. Let Go out here giving bad history again. The Lapeef Network started in 2019 before Clubhouse. In fact, the Lapeef Network created co-ed panels. Everybody else copied. This is from the founder himself. All right. I was told to inform you of that.
I was told by the founder that this came from Clubhouse. So the founder told me about that. So that's where I got my information from.
Oh,
so the founder may be wrong because the founder told me otherwise.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Mr. Let Go is the only person that will say the founder may be wrong. Never mind.
He told me that. So,
well. Mr. Let Go, you been drinking Chardonnay over there or something, man. Come on, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going by what he told me. I'm like, oh, okay, this came from Clubhouse. Okay. No, I don't know.
I bet. Y'all want to do one more or shoot? Y'all ready? Y'all sleep?
Hey,
y'all want to do one more?
Go.
Yeah, shoot.
Y'all ready? Okay, well, shoot.
Y'all be getting long-winded.
If y'all game, I'm game. All right, so get those likes up right now. Let me no, I gotta read these super chats. A lot of them. Let's do as many as we can. All right. Lucid Major, $5. The difference between children and adults is maturity level. Maturity level is the root of what we are trying to discuss. To go, $5. Talking definitely helps, but I can't help look at the people that says nothing, but things seem to go their way. People submit to power, not talking. Big Saint, 2K, $10. Yo, Bruiser, this is for you, bro. Tonight is the dopest take I think I've ever seen from you. Learn something tonight. Maybe it's the robe. Nah. And give Mr. Let Go his wig. I know he has one. Caesar's Palace, $2. Sheba is trying to take away black men's voice. Damn.
He giving me too much credit.
Big Ant, $10. Does anybody else have a problem seeing Bruiser in his Fred Sanford robe? It's not right. Go to the top. Orissa Michelle, $5. Women are the first to get these secret bank accounts, talking about not signing a prenup, though. Ooh. Angry Man, can a brother join the panel? I know I'm not as light as Ali, but I'm saying. I sent you the link, Angry Man. Check your IG. Because I'm not cool enough to go to the general box.
Yeah, we gotta get Angry Man up here. Shout out
I
to
sent
Angry
him the
Man.
link. If anybody got his math, tell him Trigger Mike dropped the link for him. Caesar's Palace, $2. Lucky, instead of writing out dollars. J. Emil Johnson, $5. Ali, you described a very specific type of woman. You really think the woman you described are the type of women are out here?
No, but Mr. Let Go is gonna take that. If he's gonna keep saying women and children, he's gonna have to eat that. But that's a whole different. If he wants to have that conversation about the general culture of today's women and how it's affecting us, that's a whole different topic. But when he's saying women are children, he's releasing them a responsibility to be women. So he has to eat that till he stops saying that. I'm not gonna step in. I know exactly what he's trying to say, but as long as he keeps saying that women, instead of saying that they're demonstrating behaviors that's hurting our families and our ability to have relationships, I'm not going to come to save him no more because he keeps saying that, and then he's making it so they're not responsible. Then he's going to coach them. So till he owns that, I can't. I'm not coming to save him from that.
Ali, every woman needs a husband. Any woman that doesn't have a husband is out here lost.
A husband don't want a child, Mr. Lego. A husband don't want a child.
Every woman needs a husband. Every woman needs a covering. So that promotes women to go find a damn husband, or your life is trash.
They're not.
I think it's semantics. I think it's semantics for real.
Women are not children.
Right. Dap Harris, $2. Can someone put a muzzle on Let Go? Damn. To go, $5. Mr. Let Go arguments are crazy. He will argue things that clearly men and women do. You would be better arguing while a woman standing to pee. Some of them do that now too. Crazy enough. Crazy as it is. Emil Johnson, $10. Mr. Let Go makes a strong point. Trauma-related triggers need to be handled delicately. The idea of treating a woman like a child means that the man shifts to his nurturing energy. Original Everything is a carbon copy, $10. Mr. Let Go swears he is a psychologist. However, he been having really good points because many women were not raised in a loving home. We do need that attention and comfort, like he said. Caesar's Palace, $5.
Right?
Precious, as long as women don't want to take responsibility for their choices or actions, they will always be treated as kids. Hidden Gems, my man, $2. Mr. Let Go of accountability. Real Bravado Network, $20. Shout out to Trigger Mike. Thanks for the support. Anytime. Y'all check out his network and subscribe as well. Real Bravado also said, I said what I said.
I said what I goddamn said.
To go, $5. Mr. Let Go doesn't understand. He means the order of God, not the women are children, but God, man, woman, and then children. God gave an order of authority. Dr. Nakumbe, $20. Unresolved child trauma is not processed well from an adult perspective. The protector in the adult woman is protecting her inner child in her. You address the protector as an adult so that it can soothe her inner child. I got to read that one again at some point. I think he was saying something. AP, $10. Yeah, go ahead.
And vice versa. A woman's supposed to protect the man.
Hold on, can you go back, Trigger Mike? I think that was important. What? Because I missed it.
All right. Unresolved child trauma is not processed well from an adult perspective. The protector in the adult woman is protecting her inner child in her. You address the protector as an adult so that it can soothe her inner child.
Thank you. Shout out to
as an adult, not as a child.
As an adult, you don't understand what he's saying.
Soothe their inner child.
As an adult, not as a
talk to her as an adult.
Soothe their inner child is the same thing.
Duh, we all have
semantics.
Semantics.
All right, AP, $10. Lady Di, you're right. We don't slam cabinets. We punch holes in walls. Stop. Let go, bruh. I think you're way off.
Yeah, he right. We do punch holes in walls.
We're gonna get him right, man. We're gonna
$2. Treat her like a grown-up and you'll be called toxic. To go, $5. They have a time when women act like children. When Sheba got on Trigger Mike for giving his opinion, when JR does it all the time. Kiki Shepherd, $89, $5 says, Mr. Let Go, how you get to tell people to be quiet and not cut others off, but that's what you do all night. You cannot shut up.
Is that true, Mr. Lego?
No, that's not true. I don't know what they talking about.
This ninja lying.
This thing, I'm like, yo.
I can't wait till I meet him in person. I'm gonna cut his ass off all night.
Arissa
Yeah,
Michelle,
cutting people
$5.
off. I just be like, what's wrong with y'all? Like,
Saying not all is childish.
He
Dr.
doesn't do it
Nakumbe,
in person.
$10. If you treat/view her like a child, that continues to reinforce her original cause, the original cause of her trauma. You cannot cure trauma. You can only heal it or treat it. Caesar's Palace, $5. It's not about acting like a child, guys. Both men and women make mistakes. Only one group does not want to be held accountable for their choices. I think that's facts too.
exactly. Women.
Generation love, just helping to support great content, love and happiness, always in the name of Jesus Christ. I'm not pronouncing.
Go ahead, man. Try it. Go ahead, do it.
The Aramaic version. Okay.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Yeah. Dr. Nakumbe, $10. It's the root cause of all problems developed from ages 3 to 8, child stage. The impact of it shows in adulthood. Are any on the panel a certified or licensed trauma specialist? I think Let Go
is not, but doctor is.
I have a master's in psychology, but I'm not. I didn't want to go into that level.
Let Go specializes in causing trauma on people.
I work in actual mental health.
You got a doctorate in just getting on people's nerves, huh? All right. Sir, $10. Shout out to Sheba turning 50 years old at some point this year.
Hold on, no, let's talk about it because I'm not 50, and that's a form of hate when I say men that hate women, and y'all sit here and promote it because I'm not 50, but if God blesses me to become 50, hey, I'll take it. But shout out to you living past gun violence as a young black man. Let's talk about it because if I shoot that same venom, y'all gonna call me a bitch and y'all gonna say I'm wrong. So when I say, hold on, no, stop. Because if I'm fair game, he's fair game. Shout out to you for surviving. And I can go on and on and on and on. That's why I'm saying y'all be careful of the message that you get behind. That's all. Because if he come for me, I'm coming for him. You draw blood, I'm drawing blood. But don't ask me to sit here as a panelist when you're reading it out loud. I'm not 50, but I appreciate it. Thank you for the super chat.
That's what we call
clapback.
Clapback in the Bucky's hoodie. That's what I'm talking about. All right, shout out to H-Town, all my people that know about Bucky's. Lucid Major. Somebody read this. I'm about to sneeze.
The difference between children and adults is maturity level. Maturity level is the root of what we are trying to discuss. Y'all gotta listen to these folks in the chat. Talking differently helps. Talking definitely helps, but I can't help look at the people that says nothing but things seem to go their way. People submit to power, not talking.
Let me read the last one.
Yeah, it hurts. It hurts to hear Mr. Let Go read.
Let me read the last one. Let me do my Let Go impersonation.
No. Okay. Go ahead.
You ain't gonna give him
To
that?
go $5. Talking definitely helps, but I can't help look at the people that says nothing but things seem to go their way. People submit to power, not talking.
That's literally how you sound.
This dude reads syllables, bro. He read like he talking in syllables.
Yo, all right.
Man.
We appreciate the super chats. We're gonna get into the next topic. If you're just tuning in, we got fans in the UK as well. They just waking up, getting on their way to work. So welcome. Please get those likes all the way up. We need them all the way up to 1,000 right now. We appreciate your support. We are burning the midnight oil. One last topic. Let's get into it. So the topic is reality TV has destroyed marriages. Got a short clip for y'all. Stay tuned.
The things that has also come in and destroyed Black marriages, absolutely obliterated
The media in general too, especially reality TV in that way. I agree.
Definitely reality TV.
For sure.
Tell me why you think that.
The imagery. Everybody got to be a baller, boss babe. You know, they doing all of this. They don't need a man. You know, if they getting up there, they looking for a man, trying to find a man.
The way the women are treating each other. I mean, it's just
exactly all the fighting that I just
told y'all that's entertainment.
when I looked at some stuff with him, and I would say, because a lot of times we can't get past 1 or 2 episodes for shows that come out like, y'all serious with this, right? People don't live like that. People don't talk to each other like that. You know,
well, so it is entertainment. I do agree with you, but entertainment at this point is very much so a part of the community and the environment.
Because people want to imitate what they see.
Yep, and they see more of it than they probably see their
And
own parents.
when you consider it, most people growing up, they said like the best example of a father they saw was Bill Cosby, was Uncle Phil. Like sometimes entertainment gets truly integrated in your vision is in your lifestyle and who you even want to be and how the family you want to create. So unfortunately, if those are not the examples, especially people who already got bad examples in their own households,
right.
If this is not what they're aspiring to be, the best relationship they see is the housewives. Because I mean, technically, it's a family. They rich, but all of this toxicity.
Now you know you got a paragraph that.
You
got a paragraph that.
They're rich. But this is now. That's.
All right. So we're gonna keep it back. We're gonna go back to our people that just came in late. We'll start with Ali, then we're gonna go to Caro. Keep it going around. Just gotta Ali, you go first.
I think it predated. Well, how can I say this? I think it started way before the reality TV. But if we're going to speak on reality TV, everything that's promoted to us is based on the people we see that lead us. See the people we see in higher positions, the celebrities, the entertainers, the basketball players. All these people that we see in high positions is the type of people that's promoted to us now. And I do believe that a lot of this, not only what we're seeing, but these talking points of the high value man, the high value woman has completely destroyed society. And when we're looking at the way people are holding relationships on TV, it's swaying people to want to live in those manners. And more specifically, what I'm seeing now is men are chasing after women who do have a certain stature, body wise, even if they have BBLs, if they have breast implants, if they have, just a how can I say it? A false image of what a woman is supposed to be versus what she's supposed to be in order to be a wife and a good mother or a good woman. And then women are chasing after the ballers or the people who act supposedly toxic masculinity, who are after superficial things as well too. So I do believe that reality TV has distorted our reality of what family is or what relationships are, what men and women are. And I think a lot of us, especially if we grew up let's say a lot of us look like we 80s babies. I don't know if we 80s babies. But a lot of us have also conformed to it to the point it seems like we done forgot what a man and woman is, or what a mother father is, or what a healthy relationship is. And all of us are trying to just fit in and emulate what these bad relationships look like instead of what a healthy relationships look like, because none of it is shown to us. We don't hear about it. We don't see it. And if I ask anybody on the panel, who do you see as a healthy relationship anywhere on TV or anywhere that we hear on the radio, outside of everybody always go to Michelle or Barack Obama? Who's a healthy couple that we see on TV? I think it has destroyed society.
Honestly, I would say a healthy couple is a couple that works together, that is together, and everybody, and that's married, and they on the same accord, and they moving in unison, and they don't give a damn about what nobody else thinks. I get it. There's marriages or there's couples that do things that we might not approve. But the bottom line is it's their marriage. It's their household. It's their life. You know what I'm saying? That's why I never talk about, even though I despise what the position Dwayne Wade's son is in and all these other things. I don't never talk bad about that man. I don't talk bad about that woman. That's their household. I don't allow it to go down in my household. But the bottom line is these people have something that everybody else is trying to get. Everybody else is trying to find love. Everybody else is trying to raise their children. I think the image of a wife is what you make of it and what she allows you to make of it in today's society, because you don't really have, in a lot of cases, you don't really have that representation in the household. So you really don't know what it is. You don't really have nothing to bank on. So you just got to go out there and try. You just got to go out there and try, give it your best, try to be all you can be, try to be the best man you can be. And she's going to try to be the best woman she can be. And if y'all can make it work, y'all can make it work. That's all I'm saying on that.
Brother, did you make a robe out of some curtains? I was just wondering that.
No, my wife bought this for me. This is it's supposed to be a clothing line by Rihanna or something like that.
Oh, Fenty.
Yeah,
I don't know how to say it. Fenty.
Yeah, so
Okay, I'll just make sure those weren't drapes. I'll just make sure.
No, we don't do what they do it how they do in Philly.
One the question if reality TV distorted like.
Oh, but I was just responding to what you were saying about seeing a healthy marriage or a wife or something like that.
Yeah, but it's just based off of that, right? If reality TV destroyed marriages.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think marriages was being destroyed before reality TV came into effect.
That's what I said. Yeah, I agree.
So I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that if that's what you said.
All right. So who's going next? Carol, did you get in on this?
No, yeah, I agree with Ollie, and I do think reality TV has altered the mindset of the younger generation. Not necessarily like our generation. I feel like we see it, but I feel like we were raised more with the more older traditional ways of like viewing marriage. But the younger generation that are coming behind us, they don't have like the same type of expectations that we have when we thinking about marriage. Like they want to get married to somebody that's lit. I don't think we ever, when we were growing up, thinking that when we get a husband, we just want to get somebody that's lit or popping or doing this or that and the other. They just have different, how you say it, like they value some things that are just very superficial and just not real, not the real reality of life. Like you need somebody that's strong. You need a man that's strong. You need a woman that is resilient, and you guys need to team up and partner. I feel like we were raised that way, but the younger generation behind us, no, they're not thinking about this. I don't even think they're thinking about children. Literally. No, they're thinking about getting with their husband and being lit. They're not saying, oh, I'm going to get a husband, get a house, have a baby. Like when I was younger, I'm like, I'm going to get married. I'm going to have my baby at 25 and get a house and white picket fence, But they're like, no, we're going to get a mansion. We're going to be lit. We're going to, very superficial things. So I do think that.
I think it's disingenuous to try to give reality TV that much power, given how many decades of all these things that happen to destroy the communities and destroy marriage, to give a TV show that much power. Like it's just insane to me.
It's probably a small category, but it is part of the whole thing. The social media, the reality TV.
Yeah, but those things are like those things only been here for a small period of time versus
and it has impacted. Don't you think major?
1994 Crime Bill and Great Society Act and feminism and all these other things that came and came into relationships and how we date and see each other. Reality TV is, I would say, that's still a new thing.
Nah, Bruiser, I would say so. I think she's speaking more. She said not our generation. Millennials, we absolutely know what the crime bill is and what it did. But Gen Z, I think reality TV affects them more than the 94 crime bill.
What destroyed Gen Z was us, the very people before Gen Z. It wasn't reality TV. We can't give reality TV that credit. They didn't see a representation of a steady relationship through the people before them. That's what destroyed them.
And you raising them by giving them your phones. Let's come on. We act like we have we act like we have no responsibility. And I really wish as Black people, we could have a deeper level of conversation to say, you know what? We made some mistakes. We really have made some mistakes. The women have made some mistakes. The men have made some mistakes, and we're continuing to make mistakes. Stop blaming everything on everybody, you guys. At some point, we got to sit down and say, yeah, I do give my phone to my child because it does make them be quiet. And it's easier for me because I have to work. I'm a single parent, and it's not my ideal way to raise them. But you know what? I can't put that shit on reality television. You know what? Me and my wife didn't work out because we didn't work out. We didn't work out, and there were some dynamics in a relationship. It had nothing to do with her watching reality television or me playing my video game, because if that were the case, I would take her back. She would take me back. It was deeper than that. And I think the more we start, I really wish we go deeper with these conversations, because I feel like we're putting a Band-Aid. I really want us to get deeper as Black people, because we've been so bruised in the past, and we do have a legitimate excuse. We have been annihilated. We have been manipulated. We have been enslaved. But now we know better. And now that we know better, I want us to do better. And I want us to have healthier conversations. And guess what? It's going to get heated. But if we can remove the hate and establish the accountability, I think it'll begin to set us up for success. That's all I'm saying. Who cares if it's reality television? I mean, we had drugs in the 70s. They say we pump drugs into our own community when we think about the Black Panther movement and all of that. They say it was drugs then. Now it's reality television. At what point do we just stop and say, let's talk about it and how can we fix it?
So I'm gonna say it like this. I'm about to channel my inner Mr. Let Go real quick. Women and men are children.
Talk to them.
And here's why I'm going to say that, because I think reality TV is a reflection of our reality. And what I mean by that is reality TV truly started as far as us in the 90s. And that was millennials. That was a reflection of us. Go to college, do this, that, whatever. Y'all remember the reality TV in the 90s. It was The Real World. It was College Hill.
The Real World.
That was reality TV. What we have today is us as millennials and somewhat Gen Xers don't know how to let go of it. So now what you're seeing is a bunch of over the hill, grown ass, old ass people still trying to stay on TV. So you get people like Tommy, what the heck is her name? Tommy Lee and Natalie on TV fighting each other, and they both well in their 40s.
Mm-hmm.
And they get a check for it.
And they still getting paid for it. We still seeing people like what's that dude name who was dating the stripper girl and he had his wife and everything else. He's 40, 50 plus. It was on like Love and Hip Hop Atlanta or something like that. I can't remember the full name. But like all of these reality TV shows now is us not letting go of our childish ways. We're still trying to hold on to that. Oh, well, okay, I was on College Hill at this point, but instead of me growing up and doing better, I'm gonna stay in these reality TV shows, and I'm gonna go ahead and be a grown-ass man or a grown-ass woman still doing the same dumb shit I did when I was on College Hill.
Can I tie you and Sheba together? I think it's more about validation. I don't think it's more so trying to do what we did back then. Everybody wants to relate to get validation. Yeah. So we have 30-year-olds now trying to look like 20-year-olds and trying to be like the kids still. But I do believe what Sheba is saying is the root. Let's say it's the root cause. A lot of us are too afraid for change to do it as a collective. I was thinking about something today. So I have the craziest thoughts that I think about all the time. What are we all doing if we're not collectively loving each other and investing in each other and trying to save the world collectively? We're doing what we hear. We're doing what we see, and we conform to everything that validates a human being. Something simple as this. If you driving down the street, let's say you want to listen to Prince, right? Soon as you turn that corner and you see other people, you'll change the song, right? I know the brothers have done that. Have you ever rocked to some type of music, and then when you brothers about to get in the car or you turn the corner, you ain't about to let nobody let you listen to other things you may be listening to. We're afraid to be ourselves. We're afraid to be diverse. We're afraid to just actually address the things that's happening because we are that influenced by the things they let us hear, the things that we see, and we have conformed. All the people on the panel, there's things that we're doing that our mothers and fathers wouldn't have done, our grandparents would have done. They probably wouldn't even been on YouTube. So everything that we do see and hear, we do conform to, we do adjust to for validation because we're still trying to relate to the youth and what they deem as I guess what gives you validation.
I bet. Anybody else got anything on this?
Anybody else? Because I wanted to respond to that.
No. I'll just say we did this to ourselves. I have a problem with modern men and modern women. I think modern men and modern women are an example of what modern men or modern women are the actual problem. And we did this to our children. I don't know what went wrong, but I personally let my kids go outside and play, and they were outside. And I think at some point, parents stopped allowing their kids to go outside, and they stayed inside, and they just sat around looking at TV, looking at cartoons, playing video games or whatever. And they became these antisocial people. And then social media came in, and gave them another excuse to stay in the house and stay antisocial. And I think it just stayed that way. But I think we did this to our kids when we stopped letting them go outside. One thing I'm proud of, my kids went outside every goddamn day. They could not just be in the house. Go outside and play. Because that's what I did when I was a kid, and I had daughters. And, you know, I think it was some point where people like, well, you can't let your daughters go outside. Shouldn't mean you must live in the hood. Because we lived in a nice ass neighborhood where my kids can just roam around the whole subdivision, and I'm okay with no cell phone, and I'm okay with them.
I don't think I can do that at this day and age. I'm sorry.
That shit bullshit. I kick my kids outside all the time. Go outside. Go do something.
Thank you,
Get out
bro.
the house.
Thank you,
I want to
sweetie.
say one
Thank
thing.
you. Thank you.
I can say one thing. I think also, Mr. Let Go, times have changed. So when it comes to, I don't want to judge parents too hard that are a little bit younger with their kids, because now we monetize activities for kids. And I can say that because I have a stepson, right? He want to play basketball. And 1 week of basketball for half a day here where we live is $300. That's not the whole camp. I'm like, $300 from 8 to 12? And then if you get from 8 a.m. to like 4 p.m. So now everything has become I don't know what I'm trying to say, like where you have to pay for it. So some parents monetize. Some parents don't have a choice, like, because when their kid want to go outside, the other kids may be in camp. So I don't want to make excuses. That's not what I'm trying to say, but I'm saying it's like, damn. You know, you
go outside and play with your kids, ride bikes with your
playgrounds. The playgrounds are empty now. The playgrounds
empty
we don't even
hell.
We don't even have
the kids.
We don't even have.
And,
do y'all remember and one basketball? We don't even have that no more. When I was coming up, we used to be able to go to the playgrounds and play basketball. They don't even play basketball outside no more. But
I didn't go to no basketball camp, football camp. We just went outside.
It was summer camp. Somebody put it in the chat. Summer camp is what I was trying to say. Yeah. Like when I grew up, we could go to the Y. Your mama could pack a sandwich. Now it's like $300, $400 and lunch. Hold on, and lunch is not included.
I'm not even afraid of the price.
Outside is free.
You know what you can say? You know what you're supposed to do in those situations, Queen? Is you supposed to get because I don't know if all y'all own houses or not yet, but this is what I don't own my house yet. I plan on buying one, but this is what I plan on doing in my neighborhood. I want to get all this together and be like, hey, look, parents, we got to kick our kids outside. Yeah. Because then if all of us come together and tell our kids to collectively go outside and they say, well, mom, I want to go to summer camp. No, you're not.
Go outside.
Go out there. There's a bunch of kids out there right around the corner.
You must not know these new parents out here. They just as bad as the children.
They
don't tell me what to do with my child.
Let me tell you something. And when my kids were little, all the parents knew everybody, and all of our kids played in each other's house or whatever. And outside, we look out skateboards and bikes and all this stuff. My kids went outside, and my neighbors knew each other.
There was always that one old lady on the block that used to peek through her blinds and watch all the kids on the neighborhood. Like it.
My son, I already got a plan. My son is going to be in like AAU and all these other things, sports.
Just have them go outside, bro. Forget all this. Hey,
let's get. My son is going. My son is going to be in classes, clubs, all these other events and things that I'm going to put him in, so he can develop some skills, so he can go out there in the world. I'm not just going to sit out there and say, "Go play in the dirt."
What you don't understand is the beauty of just going outside without having it. Just go outside. We gotta bring that back.
I'm not saying it can't go outside. I have a freaking driveway with a
people like you that's giving us the problem. You put your kid, bro.
I'm talking about.
I got nobody to play with.
You talking about go out in the
get a bike and let him ride his damn bike.
Talking about go out in the neighborhood. No means of being able to communicate. I'm not with that, because I know that people traffic kids. All these other stuff.
I don't nobody want our kids.
Let me tell you something. Hold on, real quick.
I'm not taking risks. I don't have the mentality to take a risk like that.
Let me just say this.
Yeah, no.
That's being afraid. You're teaching your children how to be afraid. If you're afraid for your kids, your child is gonna grow up to be afraid. So let me tell you this. My kids I gave my kids like 10-speed bikes, not the little bikes, right? And the reason why I got them 10-speed bikes, even before I taught them how to ride when it was little, a 10-speed bike, the bar be down instead of straight across so they can get on it. I taught my kids how to ride 10-speed bikes. And I told them, I said, if you're riding your bike and a van pull up or some man pull up and say, I'm gonna give you some candy, the first thing you do
is if he tries to grab you or something like that, you don't run because the person is going to be able to catch you. You grab hold of your bike and you scream and don't let your bike go.
Man,
Because since you have this big ass bike, they aren't going to be able to take you and the bike and put it in the
First
car
of
at the
all,
same time.
how old are these kids? Because if we're talking 14, 15, 16, yeah, I'm fine with that.
No, I'm
not
talking
going to let
6,
my
7, 8, 9,
6-year-old
10. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I'm not letting
outside.
my 6-year-old son go out in the neighborhood and ride
You
up.
got a nice neighborhood, Bruiser. What are you scared of? You don't live in
I'm
the
gonna
city.
be outside.
Do that, Mr. Let Go.
Let's get Lady Di in
can't have
there
your
before we get out of here.
6-year-old
Let's
What's
get Lady
wrong
Di
with
in
y'all,
there.
man?
I
These
look
kids
down.
grow up.
I look
6-year-old
down and I look up, and somebody getting their bike stolen. Let go. I don't know where you. Let's get Lady.
And
Let's
hold
get
on.
Hey,
Hold
they
on,
steal
hold
your.
on, Mike,
Hold on, wait.
listen.
Hey, Trigger Mike, they steal your bike. They ain't stealing your kid. Don't nobody want our kids. Ain't nobody ride through our neighborhood trying to snatch your kids.
That's not true.
It's a lot of black little girls missing
That go
right now.
and little boys.
It's actually an
So that's-
epidemic, dude.
Yeah.
Give your daughter
In Atlanta is probably the worst. In the area I'm in, it's probably the worst.
Yeah, everything is the worst in
children
Atlanta.
being
Just
trafficked in and
FYI.
out.
Let me tell you something. My kids are beat your ass because they grew up learning how to beat somebody's ass.
Where your hand look like they beat on you.
Man, please. My kids will beat your ass. Real shit.
So my
kids ain't
daddy will
scared of
beat your
shit.
daddy. Is this what we've been reduced to? Die. Please give us a dose of femininity here.
Okay, so I grew up in a not so pleasant environment. I'm from the Bronx. I don't know if I ever gave that insight, but I'm from the Bronx. So I grew up, I was able to go outside back in the day because my parents taught me how to protect myself. Now, if somebody, because you can't, to me, like, I should have been sheltered then. Where I grew up, I should have been sheltered because you walk outside, I mean, it's fair game, right? But they didn't do that because they just taught me what to do, be very observant. I can't go outside, in la la land, not knowing where I'm going, where I'm coming, left, right. I had to actually watch myself, watch my surroundings. Now, they didn't throw me out there at a young age. They waited until I was mature enough. All right. But that was in that environment. I grew up in the South as well, and it was the same thing. There was this, like, people could snatch you anywhere. It don't matter where you at. That's what I'm trying to say. Now, when I started my family, me and my husband were raised in like a, not so good neighborhood. So what we did was, before we bought our house at the time, we looked at the criminal background. You go on, Zillow or whatever site that you buy your house from. You can even ask your realtor, hey, right, crime rate, all of that. It's all on the internet. See, we didn't have all of that back in the day. But everything is so resourceful. It's on the internet. You could look in your neighborhood, the neighborhood next to you, the neighborhood next to that, and see where pedophiles, all these different type of people you don't want around your kids, to see where they live. They live places. You can see where they're at. Are they around your places? So what we did was we picked places that didn't have none of that, right? Now, okay, cool. That's step one. Step two, look at the house that you're buying. If you're not buying a new house and you're buying a used house, look at your neighbors. Your neighbors been there before you bought the house. So if you don't see kids or it's not going to fit what you want to do, then you shouldn't buy that house. You got to buy a house. If you're starting a family, you got to buy a house where there are kids around. You see kids playing. That's part of the vetting stage when you're buying a property. If you choose not to do that, then that's okay. It's not nothing wrong. But then it's kind of like, well, I'm not having my kid go out. Okay, but then they're not going to get the same dynamic we did growing up. A lot of us were outside playing. They're not going to get that. They're going to be stuck on the internet and becoming couch potatoes before they're an adult to decide to be a couch potato. None of us want to marry couch potatoes. None of us should be couch potatoes because we're not going to be productive. So I do understand the fear because I'm the same way. Even in the safe neighborhood that I live in right now, I still kind of like, well, today is not all the same like it was. Exactly. There are more people. Yeah, there are more people. There's scammers out here. So I think it is more dangerous because there's more websites that you can, pick on children to manipulate. But at the same time, I'm echoing.
Let go. He just purposely interrupt like that.
At the same time, we still just have to, I guess, vet before we move into a space. And if you don't allow your child to go outside, you should have friends for these kids. they still need to be able to interact and communicate, because that's all the goal is. We go outside, communicate, but you go outside, you get street smarts. So it just depends on your way. But I do think you still should let your kids communicate with other kids, whether it's outside or inside.
Please let your kids go outside. This is the problem with all these punk ass males out here, because they didn't go outside when they was kids because they damn mama was so afraid something was going to happen to them. Take your ass outside and learn some shit.
Kids was in the streets. You got it
Now
all
you need to
wrong,
stop.
bro.
That's reckless.
Then they go climb a tree or some
Them
shit.
kids was in the streets. They probably was doing drugs. They probably was selling drugs, bro. You tripping.
I don't
Y'all act like they're not Amber Alerts. Y'all act like there are not predators. Stop it. Stop misleading people. There needs to be a balance. But if you're going to say let them go outside, give them a little bit more education. Between the ages of this and this, you may want to watch them at this age. Like, come on, don't just be reckless.
I ain't say be reckless. I'm just saying teach your kids what you need to teach them and let their asses go outside. Do not.
I'm just saying we need to put context on how old are you allowing them to go outside.
7, 8, 9, 10,
the area,
early ages.
I don't know. Listen, I don't know about everybody else on the panel, but I don't agree with being a 6-year-old.
If it wasn't so late, I'd call my kids right now and say,
Your kid can't fight a grown man. Your kid can't fight. Your kid cannot. I don't care how savvy they are. You know, your kid, Mr. Lego, is your child. They cannot go up against a grown adult. That's all I'm saying. So be responsible with your message. That's all I'm saying.
My message is let your kids go outside and don't keep them confined in the house, because they're going to grow up antisocial and be in the manosphere hating women and shit when they grow up.
Nobody's keeping
not going outside.
Yes, that's how you start being antisocial, by not going outside.
You have to teach them awareness. If I could grow up in the Bronx, okay, and be outside at a young age, I think anybody should be able to go outside. It's very dangerous.
At 7 years old.
What y'all don't understand. What y'all don't understand.
Well, not
7 years old. At 7 years old.
Understand is that today, being outside, today is not like being outside then. You didn't. That was
better, bro. So you live in a nice ass neighborhood. We grew up in a damn hood. Stop it.
Hold on. Yeah, you missing my point. What I'm saying is being outside back then was useful for your growth and development for when you was coming up back in the 80s and 90s. Now it's not necessary. We live in a technology. We live in a
that's the antisocial side. Children need to go get some sunlight and be out in the world and not in a damn house for the
listen,
you know what? This sounds like a great topic to chop up on the Trigger Mike show tomorrow morning, everybody. This sounds like a great one to chop up.
Y'all get me
mad. So we're gonna
regress.
wrap it up on this particular show. I want to thank everybody on the panel, everyone in the chat. So tomorrow morning we got on the Trigger Mike show. The topic is Oprah is not a high value woman. Oh, that's gonna be a good one.
Oprah is off limits. Leave Oprah alone.
Nope, I'm coming for it. I was having a topic. Somebody said, "Well, Oprah a high value." I was like, "What?" So yeah, we're gonna dissect that
how you get
tomorrow. But I'm gonna thank each and every one of you. Thank you for all of your amazing input. Thank you for sticking it out on the Lapeef Let's Talk show. Thanks to everybody in the chat for your contributions. I'm gonna read these super chats real quick. This man, $5. I would love to see Tommy Sotomayor on this if we can get him. Lindsay Smith, $5. I'd like to point out that Queen is a valuable and intelligent panelist. Please keep her. Thank you. She's been on multiple times. $2. Sheba, forehead smooth as hell for 50.
But that's all you see. $2. You see what comes from $2?
Oh,
low value, low vibrational. But go ahead.
$2. Let go. I'm pulling up to your door next Friday. Show.
Hold on. Hope that was a woman.
Stupid predictive text. Oh no. Pulling up to your show next Friday. I was like, damn.
Oh, show. Okay. I didn't know what was going on. Okay.
J Blue 88 Hood Gamer $2. That tell live vision y'all nothing but lies. All right, y'all. That's it. We got one more super chat came through. No way I let my 6-year-old daughter go out on her own. Now in the 90s, we've raised ourselves and we didn't even lock our doors. It's not the same. Not only is it not the same, I realized we did raise ourselves. I was home all day by my damn self. Both parents at work.
But whose fault is that? That's
No,
us
we're not gonna
problem.
get into it, sweetie. We gotta get out of here. We gotta get out of here.
Yeah, you
But we
still
gonna
can't
chop
let a
it up.
little baby go out by herself. Like even a little boy. Little boys are still babies, right?
Yeah.
He's still
You
they're
go
still
outside
babies.
and make mud
Just take 'em
pies.
to the
Find
park.
some mud and let them make mud pies and
But
shit.
not by
Take 'em to the
themselves,
park.
Mr. Let Go.
All right. Y'all don't know what wrap up means.
See
We're
what's
gonna get
gonna
it.
happen.
We're gonna get it
Let's
in.
wrap it up, Trigger Mike. Let's wrap it up.
All right. I
Bruiser
appreciate
keep
everybody.
interrupting, y'all.
No worries. Thank y'all. And we'll catch y'all next time. We appreciate all your contributions. Lapeef, let's talk next Thursday. Catch the Trigger Mike show tomorrow morning. We out.
All right, bro.
Damn, shut up, let go.